2. Guilty Gear Xerker, Rev 2.
Let me, hold on, put some music. This looks pretty cool. Alright. Let me... Wait, did I also turn on this? I think I did. Oh wait, I have the wrong one, hold on. I didn't realize the screen doesn't have it. Real quick. Is it plugged in? Maybe it's not. Oh, that's why. Let me grab, I believe I know who the first one is. Yeah.
Guilty Gear Xerker, Rev 2.
It's like the second submission? No, third. Never mind, fourth submission. One of these 10? I gotta show we can watch all of that. Actually, I don't know why I moved this over. Like, I'm not gonna use every single tab. Use this stuff. That's annoying. I'm assuming you're here. It's 2 o'clock. But if not, I'll send my usual Discord message, I guess. I find that attendance has been pretty good. It feels like a really common occurrence that I'll type something to somebody and they're like, in Discord, I'm in the chat. I'm like, just put a hi, man. Don't I have hi enabled? Yeah, man. Drop a hi, man. It's chill. god, she's fucking radiating, bro.
Guilty Gear Xerker. Rev 2.
Yeah. Well, let me resize this real quick. Sunbathing cat, yeah. She's Actually, I'm not gonna lie, she kinda has to hit the bricks because we need like the whole screen. I didn't even think about that, actually. She's kinda fucked. I'll turn her on after we're done watching the actual match. Let me also make sure I have Trusty Dusty. I finally fixed whiteboard, I figured out what it was. So now we should be good to go. Yeah. I don't really find that I like need a whiteboard on average. It kind of depends on how specific people's questions are, honestly. We do 35, right? Is it fucked up? I can't remember. No, is it 35? I think it is, right? Yeah, because I upped it. It's 35 plus a 5-minute buffer is what it is. Yeah, we're good. 35. Well, actually, I didn't read what this says.
Guilty Gear Xerker.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty funny. You have no idea? No, that's fine. It's a question for myself. They basically I had to like. I used to cut into other people's times, so I put a 5-minute buffer, and everyone still gets 35 minutes. But technically, that's why the time slots changed from the first time. This one's interesting. Like I'll always say before, like not to like talk about it long, but I do think that he wins the matchup. Probably. Not like drastically. Like it's just I think Soul's job once he knows what he's doing is easier than Baiken's job. However, there are a lot of Soul habits that they tend to have that are like very abusable because Baiken abuses basically any habit somebody has, right? Like that's just how she works. You always press a button there, guess what she does, right? Like stuff like that. But I think if they know the matchup, this shit is a lot better for Soul. One thing I do... Well, I'll watch and see. We'll see. Knockdown. Ooh, you can knock down on that crouch hit. Knockdown. So this is kind of why it gets tough for her, in my opinion. But we'll see. Because whenever he starts getting here, it's like very hard. Oh god, it's a hard bait. It's kind of hard to get out of those situations without gambling a lot. One thing I will kind of say, and we'll see how much it happens, is like I don't focus on polluting the screen like in the air that much versus Soul. I basically just like move forward, put the Tommy out, and then like go from there, and it's fine. But I find doing too many things versus Soul is not a great idea. It's good to slow the pacing down versus Soul in general. Whatever you normally do, you could probably still do it. Just don't keep doing it nonstop. Because the first like 20 seconds of this match is you doing like Tatami Kabari, Tatami Kabari, Tatami. Like they're hard to punish, sure, but it's more like when you're doing all of that, he might clip you. And despite how it might feel, it's pretty scary to like get knocked down by Soul compared to other matchups, and I don't like taking risks because of that, is mostly what it is. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen a jump in Soul. On Soul. Yeah, that's a good option to pick. Also, I mean, you already said, like, it's the last games or whatever, but, don't pick this unless he's been throwing. I mean, no matter what you pick out of season on, you would have lost there. But don't pick the stab specifically. He missed the cross, or not missed, but like you blocked the cross. Yeah, this is kind of why I say like it's weird to like just do things versus Soul, especially like moving towards him. No matter how you do it, armor, etc., etc. it's not that he always gets like big punishes like this. It's just he plays the Oki super well. Like everything he normally does just works versus Baiken. Azami helps a little bit, but you'll still die just the same if you're wrong. Like that's not true in other matchups. So like this is fine, but you have to be like a little bit careful. I pretty much always let Soul like run into me. Let me get my notepad too. Make sure that I have some notes. That was a good pickup from him. Oh, he missed the super jump by AD maybe. Yeah, this is good. Always, like, rule of thumb is, like, if something's above you, you pick uppercut. It's really that simple. You want to pick uppercut because the speed is important on getting counter hits. So lucky. I'm not a big fan of Suzuran in neutral. Kind of, period, but definitely not versus Soul. Again, not because he gets big punishes, but because, like, he can just stick out 2D or 2K. And things get really awkward for Baiken really fast. If it feels like you're not supposed to move at Soul for whatever reason because he's stuffing you, then don't run at him. Like, don't try to force it, is basically the idea. Like, this is fine. Yeah, you just... Playing a grounded game is like this is pretty solid. I find that run-up far slash is pretty alright if you've already, like, established that he can't 6P it or whatever. Also, just, like... we'll talk about a specific input I think is kind of helpful. In matchups like this, I do it a little bit more because a lot of the times my game plan is like I don't really want to try to like hit Soul in the air ever because he has like no end lag. So there's like no point. A lot of the times I would prefer something like that, like nothing committal. I want him to like move into me and get hit. You know, not to say like jump forward, jump S is like the plan, but it's more like a lot of your hits ideally want to look like that, or you do it long enough. Damn, he could have killed you, maybe. He could have done super. She would have chunked, and I think he still gets the combo from there. Soul is also scary to burst, which is why it's like dicey kills, right? Oh, he missed the OS. I can't believe he didn't just do jump H. Oh, it's gonna hit. Yeah, he just like he builds a lot of momentum kind of fast in terms of like winning exchanges over and over. Meter isn't really that necessary for him versus Baiken because he's like good in neutral versus her. Like called out the end lag timing. Kind of like a minor thing, but like if you find that you are messing up like getting I guess that's the fact that it was stand Azami is weird. Never pick stand Azami obviously, but it's more like if you're having trouble reacting every time to bring her with, like, Azami, it's probably not worth it. And you'd be better off, like, trying to instant block. It's less punishing to mess up. A lot of people don't know how red Azami, like, with, like, accidental red Azami works. They just think that you're doing regular Azami so they don't hit you. But, like, if somebody knew, you get kind of fucked. I like Kabari. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I would also probably get DP'd there. This is kind of why I say, like, we'll talk about it, but this is why advancing movement, like, super committal movement's kind of ass versus Soul. Fafnir, yeah. Baiken's white as fuck. Yeah, I know you mean. You play Baiken enough, you notice that people, like, don't see what's happening. You can get a safe jump here, yeah. There's a good IB into DP after from him. That is some of the RPS. So now you end up here, right? Like, now it's scary to Azami. He's basically, like, innately high-lowing you. You don't necessarily want to burst because, like, you're still cornered, etc., etc. Like, this spot sucks versus Soul. Usually, the biggest thing is basically, like, when you're here, faultless like that is fine. If he spends the bar, you kind of just do it again. Like, when he gets here again, faultless defend. So that you push Soul out so that strings like this might miss. This might miss if you faultless defense here. Is, like, an important thing to consider. Every time he, like, runs up on you. Where's the form? You can send a replay like this. It is just follow me on bluesky. If you don't have a bluesky, I don't even think you need to, but that account at Baiken player on bluesky, I tweet out the form on Monday. The form is up like most of the week, and it'll obviously be like every other Monday. Yeah, so whenever he runs up, you just kind of want to... Is it ever worth trying to stand FD versus Soul? There's not really like a reason to stand FD versus crouch FD as far as I can think. I think you just crouch FD. That's like too complicated. Find the hit. That's a guaranteed burst point. Not teching there is pretty cool. Thought it gave more pushback. I don't think so. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend to know that. But I don't think so. I've never heard of that in this game. Pushback, if I'm not mistaken, is just based on attack level. So like the bigger the normal, the bigger the pushback, essentially. Yeah, like I like this. We'll talk about like the range that you can get up to. There's like a range I think is pretty good, especially the range like the way that like Neil has adjusted and is playing here. There's like a range. Here you just block it out. Zombie's fine. Zombie's old reliable. One thing I'll say, like, I'll give you like a piece of like a knowledge that doesn't seem like you do much, because it's kind of weird to tell yourself. Don't worry about it versus Neil's pretty confident in the matchup. He's okay. Not to rip on anybody, you know, because I feel like I tend to do that too much. Should be dead. Funny part is you could have just Grand Viper. But the way I would put it is like he's really cautious around Baiken, and that's a pretty good start. But I think there's like things he could do better. Not to like be like he doesn't actually know the matchup, but it's like there's some better stuff he could do. I would say I have a really trash soul, but no soul is probably better at knowing the Baiken matchup than my soul for obvious reasons. But it's a really bad soul, so it doesn't matter. 2H is scary, yeah. That happens. It's not a big deal. One thing I will say is you haven't really opted for it much, is if he jumps like kind of ever, we'll talk about Escabari and pressure, because it's like, it's really helpful in a matchup like this too. He's pretty solid. The way I would put it is he's very solid into soul. He's a very good soul player, and he probably knows how Baiken works, and that's like enough, if that makes sense. The Tommy Ender's good. We'll talk about that too. I actually like the Tommy Ender quite a bit in this matchup. For like a specific reason I'll talk about. Let's get it to Tom now. Yes, this is fine until like don't crack, don't do this. Because he messed up. If he did not pick jump S, if he picked like any other soul button, you probably lost there. If you pick like jump P, jump H, probably still wins there. Like, I think moving at soul, especially via like IAD, is really hard to pull off. You want to do it eventually, but like it takes a while. That sucks. I've like never seen DP whiff perfectly on burst like this. I know it can happen, but trade dead. To me, the person that the two people that might understand, no, I think the only person in my head that for sure, well, I mean, obviously like Mystic too, but person in my head, and I swear I don't say this to sound like a cop-out, that knows Baiken matchup like better than basically like anybody else that I've played is just like Solstice. I think Solstice has like the most solid understanding of how Baiken works for like probably obvious reasons. Speed, Gunflame, oh, she fell out. This is fine. Yeah, honestly, like, this defense is fine. You can push out a little bit more, but, like, things like this are good. You can see that they force the block, and then you can run up. Don't be afraid to just run up behind these. Like, yeah, you can get DP'd, yeah, etc., but I'd rather run up and, like, FD break than always. The thing about Kabari like that is, one, it's tricky to get out. I'm a little surprised you didn't get it there, because it's like, it's probably because you did it to Tommy too high. But the problem with Claw is, like, the situation when they block it becomes really, like, telegraphed after. It doesn't make it not good, but it's just really telegraphed, right? If you always do Tatami into Kabari, then people just learn how to play a situation where you're +2. Like, being +2 is not that big a deal. DKVV, RCO Kazeme. I've seen weirder shit, Ama. Honestly, that's not that crazy. Because then I think about it, I'm like, honestly, that's kind of smart. because maybe he's trying to react to if he gets the hit, like on a vanilla hit. Because if he hits the backdash, then he gets a combo. This is fine. This is fine. Azami is a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like Azamiing Soul's pressure much, personally. But it is good once he does, like, 5H. Because, like, most of his special cancels will probably hit it if you do it right. But it's pretty fucking spooky. This, very subtle. I'm not gonna talk about it, but, like, when you do this, delay the jump cancel. Because he could have DP'd you, like, very easily off of this. Normally, you're kind of far and it's, like, hard to DP you. But, like, if you run up here like this, he probably could have DP'd you as you're running up. You kind of actually want to delay the cancel, and you want the tatami to splat, like, a little differently. Funny enough, it, like, might still be DP'able, but a lot of people don't DP it. It's weird to explain. Like, people will block on wake up and then try to DP after, and then, like, it won't work. Yeah, Azami. Azami, to me, by the way, isn't, like... I don't say don't do it because you can get wild thrown. I say don't do it because, like, if you mess up the timing, you just get punished in general. Like, if you get a red Azami, it's also really bad. But it is mostly, like, you just don't want to end up in the situation where it whiffs. It gets really awkward trying to figure out if Soul's going to wild throw you or just press a delayed button. Because if he randomly nails the counter hit on that shit, then you're just kind of toast, honestly. Like, if you're like, oh, I'm going to release Azami, and he presses, like, 5H, 6H, 2D, like, you just die. Right? It's more than just the wild throw. The situation after is actually just pretty awkward for Baiken. That was a good air throw. See, like, we'll talk... There's a specific thing you're not doing too much of, and I think it's very strong on Baiken. Into players that have already accepted, like... He plays on the ground most of the time. Like... He goes to the air, everyone does, it's an anime fighter, but if you've noticed, most of Neil's exchanges are on the ground in situations like this. Here, you can just run up. This is kind of what I mean, where, like, if somebody instant blocks this, or if you're not close enough, sometimes they can DP before you can do a block string, but, like, you kind of have to believe that you're going to get the block string. Otherwise, you never get meaningful pressure as Baiken. That's just true in general. Versus nice delay. Versus anybody that has a DP, that's just true in general, I think. Yeah. Another thing we'll talk about that's really important, actually, and, like, is probably, like, something you should hear, because what you actually, like, asked about is, 2K. I think 2K is very good versus Soul. 2K is actually ridiculous versus Soul. It's not busted because it leads to much, but it is so good, like, right here. If you have a situation like this where he, like, faints and you don't know what he's gonna do, something like Fuzzy 2K, like delay mash 2K, like right here is so good. Because if he does like Fafnir, you'll probably recover. If he runs up like this, you'll clip him and it'll like stop his run, and then he has to figure out what he's gonna do. And you can usually, like, if you really think it's gonna hit, then you can press another button behind it. But 2K interrupt is like very good. Obviously, strong lows give Soul kind of a hard time in general. It doesn't lead to a knockdown, but 2K is just really big for being a 5-frame normal. Oh, no. I would do neutral jump to Tommy here. If you get, like, a far Oki like this, you can just neutral jump. I just do neutral jump to Tommy there. That shit's good. It's great because it basically spaces the tatami for you. And, like, yeah, they could maybe backdash, but Soul probably can't, honestly. Yeah. And I figure, you know, maybe somebody's mentioned it, maybe somebody hasn't. Soul's, like, solidest burst point is, like, here. When he hits you with, like, a rising JD like this, as long as he's not, like, in the corner already, like, if it's something like this where he's, like, mid-screen or right after wild throw or something, it's really hard for him to bait that without hard baiting it. On, like, rising J, like, here specifically, it's hard for him to bait it. Because if he does rising JP to try to do, like, an OS, it kind of whiffs a lot on a lot of characters. He has to do that, like, later in the combo for it to be more consistent. Okay, we didn't really need whiteboard this time around, but yeah, I mentioned it. It's that one's good. Dive kick is like super stable. Is like a really easy one to take. Honestly, let me plug in my pad. I always forget, like, if I'm gonna do like stuff for Baiken, I should probably plug in my pad. Okay, now though, she can sunbathe in all her glory. You know, it doesn't really matter if we put it up there, I think. Oh my god, I was like, where's Xerker? It's capturing Slay the Spire. That's really funny. I don't play enough video games for my game capture to be like set to just general like full screen application. I only play like 3 video games, so it's 90% of the time it's just on Xerker. It's only recently that's not true. What am I doing? I don't even need to buy that. We'll record as Baiken into Soul. Sorry, I should have picked Soul for the other one. Let me look at my notes too. 15 minutes ago. So, there's only... what the fuck? Whoa. Hold on. I didn't know you could even do that. I binded that on accident. That's really funny. One of the things is, like, just do less in neutral. Once things slow down, you should slow down. That's, like, good advice in general, in my opinion. Thanks for the follow. That's good advice in general. Like, once they are kind of slowing down, just go back to doing this. Ideally, if somebody is just kind of, like, being really slow, like, walking around kind of slow, don't be too intimidated to do, like, a deeper jump like this and splat Tatami, like, on top of them like this. It's pretty solid. This specifically would have probably helped you. Because a lot of people won't really react in time on something like this. And so as long as you do, like, jump, air dash back here, like, you won't get thrown, you're too far, you won't get 6P'd because you're going to drift back. You'll stick to Tommy out on top of them. You want to hit the jump, like, kind of, like, right here on them. Where it's like, this seems like, oh, what if I get air thrown? But you kind of just do an early air dash back and a delayed Tatami, and it's very good at punishing people that wait around. And then you commit, is what I was saying. Like, you just need to commit sometimes. The tricky part with this is, like, people don't really get hit by this Tatami once they've 6P'd like once and they know what's happening. I try not to do this Kabari if I think people are already going to wait. Because if you're worried, like, what if they DP the run-up because they can, I would sooner just wait. That's when I would Kabari maybe, but it's kind of like, I would rather just commit. Because if they mash, you win. It's like just invul moves here that are winning, right? So you do this, look how far that splats. Like, you can splat with the tip of it really easily. And what ends up happening is, like, let's say this guy reacts and he does something like this. You do like this. Whoops. Oh, I can just set up like this. There we go. Like, let's say this guy's reacting and he does, and you do like your thing like this and he does this. That's fine. Like, that's fine. He still can't really press a button. Like, I'll press far slash or whatever. Like, the backdash itself will buy you the respect off of the time that it's gonna take for you to, like, just press another button. Or you do it from farther, like, let's say you do it from, like, here on accident and they backdash. Like, if you do it from, like, here and they backdash, that's fine. I'll probably, like, see the backdash and break. Or, again, still just press far slash. Like, it's pretty good. That's a great, like, thing to do. When I say do less, this is still, like, worth doing. Do less means, like, don't do air dash forward, don't do these. They're waiting for stuff like that. So you need to be a little bit slower. Another thing that's nice is, like, if you're playing footsies and they're, like, standing too far for this, you know what I mean, like, half circle into 6-6 is, like, pretty nice, because you'll dash, you'll close the extra distance, and then you'll actually make contact with Kabari. I do this sometimes. It's kind of nice if I'm already committed to playing a grounded game. I think this is nice. The extra pull is nice on people that learn to stand outside of this. So, like, over here is where people tend to try to force you to stand when they're playing slow. So if you're like, yeah, this is fine, I'll be here, and then randomly I'll do one of these, then, like, you'll move much farther than you think. Because Kabari isn't, like, even close to hitting here, really, right? But if I hit a good one of these, like, it can hit, right? Like that. And so she's effectively, like, farther reaching than you might think. You stick out far slash, it whiffs, but if they press something, they die. Or you just do Kabari again. I think those two things are, like, nice to do in neutral some more. When I say, like, take it slow, like, if you're taking it slow, by the way, too, like, another thing to do is if you're gonna do these, I would sooner run up to, like, this distance. And kind of, like, apply the same logic. Like, when I do this to Soul, sometimes I'll just commit and, like, commit fully and run up, and they'll just, like, block. You'd be surprised how many people will block this 2K. Because you have other options. Like, you can do this into, like, microdash Kabari, right? Or, you know what I mean? Like, to, like, half circle forward, and now if they stick out far slash, like, they just get owned. There's good ways to punish people that play slow. Like, now if I were to do this input, it's gonna look really similar to if I do run up 2K, but if they freak out and they press a delayed far slash, you just get the counter hit for free. Here. Worst case situation, he blocks it and you just end up where you usually are. But most of the time, like, even on a whiff like this, it's still, the Tatami is like insurance, man. People can't really stick a button out into that a lot of the times. So you can do it from pretty far, you can get away with it a lot. honestly, even just getting up to this range is pretty solid versus Soul once they play slower. Because, like I said, you'd be surprised like how much you can get away with just like eventually doing something like this versus them. Especially because most of them have started to look for like Suzuran or run up Azami, etc. Like, run up far slash isn't that bad. Another thing to consider is like Soul doesn't get a reward when he presses his far slash. So like if you get hit by this, it's not that big a deal. He has to spend 50 bar for it to be anything. You're more worried about like delay 2D, and a lot of the times like run up 2K is actually pretty good at beating it. Run up 2K is pretty good. Sometimes run up 5H is actually pretty sick. I used 5H quite a bit in this matchup. I think it gives Soul a really hard time. Because, like, he wants interactions like this, right? He wants to catch you pressing a poke. He wants to counter, like, whatever. He wants to counter poke it. You can just press this, and it hits the floor. I think this button is phenomenal. In neutral, defensively, in pressure versus Soul. Like, if all they can do is press 2D, then you just press 5H as Kabari. Or as Baiken. And it's, like, very good. It's, like, very good. It's pretty rare that, like, it's gonna lose to 2D on, like, a low profile or anything like that. It's essentially, like, fully disjointed, so you're never gonna stick your rootbox out. Those are all good to consider. Two things I didn't really see are if you get this situation, it's really scary. And, like, this is case by case on characters. Soul isn't really one I would worry about it too much. But if you ever get your mid-screen knockdown and you hit the Kabari, don't be afraid, or not the Kabari, the Kita Tatame, don't be afraid to just tick throw with the Tatame. A lot of people like psych themselves out and always do like this and then tick throw. You'd be surprised how many people will just get caught off guard by this. Like, this is just drive-by advice, but like don't be afraid to just tick throw straight off of Tatame. It's pretty cheap. Right, especially because they're jailed already. So like you run up this or run up tick throw is pretty good, man. Like it's pretty, any like thing that's like this versus something that looks kind of like this is very good. Right, it's just essentially like a free tick throw on top of the fact that you could just press another button. Like it just makes guessing when you're gonna do it that much harder because you now do it on Tatami too. Don't do it like crazy, but it's like yeah, you should try that sometimes. I think even backing off on it, because a lot of people, at least in the matchmaking Discord, seem to match their... I mean, at that point, you would just aim to frame trap, I think, if that makes sense. Like, that plays into what Baiken does. At that point, I would just do, like, a run-up 6K, like, real deep. Because this will be pretty good into a lot of characters here. Not many people are ever throw-OSing there for, like, the fuzzy throw, because that's kind of insane to do here. At least in terms of, like, how risky it is. And if you do a run-up 6K and you time it right, a lot of times you can catch people doing delay 4H because it's throw invul, or you can catch the mash. And like worst case situation, they block, you're -2, but you're not punishable. You're just like point blank and it gets really awkward. And if they don't, then you're just like, cool, I'm plus. But this kind of does both. This, and by both I mean like it punishes mashing really well if you time it. And it also punishes like defensive throw really well too. Like this button, run up 6K like deep as fuck. There are probably a lot of instances of like me doing something like this. I do this like a lot. I'll run up deep and I'll just kind of more or less know the timing on like a fuzzy mash or like immediate mash or like delay 4H. And like this shit is money. And the really fucked up part is if they're like super scared, I'll just do 2 of them. Look at how much risk this cranks, dude. Like people don't realize how much risk like 6K starts to crank. Baiken cranks a lot of risk in general on her strings. It's kind of nuts. And then now you're actually spaced out pretty well on the second one to like be a little safer to press stuff. I didn't see that. I didn't see like the tick throw thing. The other thing I didn't see is like you should do more Escabari in your pressure, just a little bit. There's 2 things actually you should do more a little bit. Matchups like Soul, where the thing about Soul is like doing this over and over doesn't actually feel that great compared to other matchups because he has a DP, right? So every time you pull him here, you're like, great, he might DP. That's kind of why I don't like Kabari spam that much versus Soul. It's not that you don't like it. It's more like half the time I'm just assuming he's gonna DP. Because remember, like anytime you get knocked down, it's a really big deal for Baiken. Like, the fact that his DP is going to knock you down is a really big deal. It means that you don't actually want to do that much versus Soul, in my opinion. Like, you always want a Kabari But if you're doing it, you honestly want to do it less if you can get away with it. And more importantly, you kind of want to assume he's going to DP. Because the consequences is a big deal for Baiken. And her DP punishes are good. Especially if she's like catching him out of the corner where she'll still get her dust loop. But it's not like that crazy. It's not that crazy to where I wouldn't just DPS Soul. It's good reward. Instead, you should just do more Kabari. Or sorry, more like Tatami Enders. Like this. Tatami Ender's fine, man. Like if you push yourself out on a Tatami Ender, something like this string, for example, is like pretty good. You're minus 4, so you're not punishable via anything. A lot of the times, I'll just do something like this and then take the space back a little bit. You just have to figure out what people are doing, honestly. Like if they mash a button, sometimes I'll even do like neutral jump Tatami and the button will whiff, and then we'll just block Tatami and I'll get back in for free. The thing about this Tatami is like, I'll start staggering on the block string ender down a little bit, right? Sometimes I'll do something like 2S, which doesn't have a lot of like hit stop on it like this. And then I'll run up and the next time I'll just end on this. If you do it right, I mean, it's a frame trap, right? Like it just frame traps people. It kind of gets them to sit still and wait till your block string is over. And then you just make it so that your block string takes a while to end if you can. Or you do one of these and you get in all over again, right? Just try to lean away from Kabari. Kabari is also pretty bad if someone knows how to play around it. Not bad. I shouldn't say that. But it's not as strong as it usually is. If he knows how to play around it. I did dashing Kabari. I did the range you want to run up to. I did take it off Kabari. And then Kabari is just one soul jumps out of pressure a lot. So like as long as you know where you're gonna do it, like it's fine. A lot of the times you kind of want it to be like this far. You want it to be like outside of far slash range. Because if you notice, this Kabari is still going to catch him jumping. However, he can't mash on it, right? You don't want to do Kabari like here, because he can mash on it after you miss, or he can do like a preemptive mash. But a lot of the times the Kabari spaced out like this is very cheap. Something like this, he should still miss maybe. No, you have to do it like this, yeah. You have to add a couple hits. You'll have to play with the timing a little bit to like feel it out. Soul also has a really like far hitting far slash. But a lot of the times like a stagger or two like this will put me really far. And the idea is like if I do this Kabari and I miss this Kabari, Rokonsogi still hits. So he can't just jump out afterwards. Rokonsogi is also very spaced. This is like insanely cheap to do in general. Like, I think this is very strong for Baiken to abuse. Because people have to instant block this, and a lot of characters don't even get, like, a great punish on an instant block. It's character to character, because the pushback is, like, so good on this move if you didn't pull them in like you normally would, right? That, two things you should rotate more to now are, like, Tatami Ender in matchups where people have, like, good reversals anyway, so that you can't get stuck in a situation like this all the time. And versus Soul specifically, like a little bit more of this is also good. The last thing I'll say is like 2K is just good versus Soul. Anytime he's doing like something like this, right? So like if he's doing like, and he runs up and he does something like this, and you're like, you know what, like, I think he's gonna run up. 2K is like a great button to press, even from like farther out. Let's say he does like a really far reset for whatever reason, right? That's too far. Let's do it off like far slash. Like, if you're here, and you're like, I don't know what he's going to do. Look how far 2K hits. 2K is ridiculous here. Because I don't have to, like, process the situation. I'm just like, I don't know what he's going to do. I'm just going to fuzzy 2K. I'm going to fuzzy 2K. He can't really 2D it easily, because it's a low, right? He can't, like, low profile it. It's fast to come out. This button hits really far. The thing about it hitting so far, and I'm sure you know, is, like, it means that you don't get a knockdown a lot of the time. So, like, let's say I mash it, like, immediately here, and I hit it as far as possible. That's fine. I honestly don't think it's a big deal. If you ever hit it, like, really far away, like here, and you see it hits, a lot of the times I'm not pressing a button behind it anyway. What I'll do, especially versus Souls, because they mash 2D a lot here, is, let me see. Let me see if I can record it so that he just gets hit. Alright, so, like, let's say this happens and you hit him, you know what you do is you just press 5H. 5H is fully disjointed. Like right afterwards, you're plus. Or not plus, but like you're gonna react faster to that probably than them. I do this like crazy versus Soul. It's very strong, I think. It's really annoying for him to punish it. Because I either press 2k and then take advantage of it, right? Like, I'll do something like this, and then I'll get greedy and I'll run up off of it preemptively. Not like reactive. Just like, oh, I hit 2k, I'm going to do that, or I'm going to do this. And I'll press this. The thing about Soul is he's not good at pressing buttons that people, like when people run into him. He usually tends to press this, or he tends to press this. And he presses this a lot. He loves pressing this defensively. Right? Whenever he gets clipped in weird spots. So you just do this. He mashes 2D. It's usually like fully disjointed on the end of 5H. So you just do this and he gets full counter hit. Or he blocks this and you're like, sweet, I will do whatever I want. I will Kabari. I will do that. If I don't want a special cancel, you can also not do that, right? So like, you can also just do 2k, 5H, 6k like this. And then you recover, and you're not even in far slash range. You can press 5H again, and it'll counter poke anything he presses, probably. Or you can just use the space, because you're Baiken, to run away now, right? Like, that's why something like that is, like, so good. Because you're like, no, I don't want to fight, and so you just get out instead. But the point is that you interrupt Soul. Defensively, I think the two things is, like, you always want to remember if Soul ran up again. Check him with faultless defense, especially if he's not just doing a bunch of microdashing, like, over and over and over. Always check them with a little bit of faultless on like a button or two at the beginning. It's just pretty good into Soul. Like, they have to play around it. It's not that they can't, it's that they have to, right? So you always want to like consider that. The big things are like 2k a little bit more. Faultless defense every time he's closer. Even when he does like this, you basically want to do it again so that you push him out again. Introduce some safer stuff in your pressure. More notably like Tatami Ender. Tatami Ender's weird. You don't get anything unless they get hit, obviously. Sometimes you don't get anything even when they do get hit. But it's just safe. It's just really stable. Slow your neutral down a little bit more. Don't air dash. Don't Kitatama at Soul. Just do more of like this. If you're like, man, this guy really, really doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't air dash at me or anything. Like, he just wants to play grounded. Then you can also do net dash neutral jump Tatami. It's pretty underrated, right? Like this. This is the thing I forgot to mention earlier. But, like, this is also good. You basically, like, don't drift forward completely, but if they stay too stationary, like, the splat will still hit them. And, like, there's nothing that says you can't still just do this, right? So it's still, like, annoying to read it as Soul, right? If I'm, like, in this mid-range, I could Tatami like that and splat on him, or I could just back off like this, get a Tatami if he chases me, or more likely I'll do, like, air dash back, like, stick something out. But this range is really good versus him. But yeah, those are all things I would say like to consider. I think I covered a lot. Maybe I didn't like fully explain everything that well, but there were like a lot of little bits in there that were like, oh yeah, you can do this, you can do that. The big things for sure are like slow down in neutral, and I thought your defense was mostly fine. You could probably FD him out more and use 2k a little bit more. They're both very good. I didn't show it, but when he ran up and I 2k'd, if he Fafners, I'm probably also not gonna get hit because it's so long for Fafner to come out, which is like a really common thing that they do. They tend to do that quite a bit. They're like, oh, what? I'm actional. Like I did feint and I want to punish like mash. I'll just do Fafner. And like you'll block it and that's pretty scary, but it's better than getting hit. And it catches the run up. You weren't sure, for one, if H Kabari wasn't a very good option or if it was fast RPS after. It's not as good as it normally is the way I would put it. First to 10 versus Pat. Let me go like halfway through this. This is a little long. We're a little, actually no, we're like right on time. It's 2:40 actually. See, this is why I put the buffer, because sometimes I take a while. Where's Tomington? Thomas Tomington. Philip. Okay, cool. Oh, it's Tom SQ. I thought it was TomTom in chat too. Is the SQ square root, or am I just a nerd? Appreciate the info. Yeah, hopefully some of that stuff helps out. Like I said, I think I went kind of fast, so feel free to like go through the VOD that's gonna be on YouTube anyway. Oh, Tom squared. That's cute. I like that. That's really smart, actually. No, I get it. I get it now. That's pretty sick. Can I link the YouTube? Yeah. Let me see if I can find it really fast. Maybe if I type like Baiken player, I just have my YouTube saved now. No? Nope. Kind of wish I did. You know what's fucked up is like, if I search YouTube, I like never find my channel. I should bookmark my channel actually. I don't know why I don't. Cause I don't use this account. Like, I use like a different YouTube account for it. No particular reason, I guess. Honestly, I just kind of made it like separately at one point, and like I never went back to it. And I guess that's kind of on me. I think I just go to view my channel. There we go. Let me know if I think this works. It keeps it organized. Kind of. I mean, I don't really upload anything on my YouTube. Honestly, I think I just remember making it before YouTube let you change like your name from what like the @ symbol thing is. And so like my YouTube is like tied to my I call it Baiken player. My YouTube is tied to my Google account, so it uses my name, and at the time I think I couldn't change it. I don't remember, so I just made another one that's like @Baiken player. I could move everything, but I feel like it's kind of late at this point. All right, we're situated. We're situated. Defensive habits. I feel like you wait too long during pressure sequences. Okay, I will say Chipp is a good character to not be like that patient versus, as far as like characters go. In the cast, I think Chipp tends to be minus a lot, like on his shit. He's actually minus like a lot. He has really distinct points where you want to interact with him, in my opinion. It's the initial one. We'll go through a couple. We'll watch maybe like 10 minutes or so. I think it'll be good. Where's my mouse? There it is. Oh, nice confirm. Oh, that's tough. The big hit. Oh, no cancel. I guess heads up if the meter's relevant. Exert isn't in the bottom right. Oh shit, you're right. Thanks for that catch. I probably wouldn't have mattered, but that's a nice save. Turn off monitor. Oh, I'm on the that's why. Everything's like a little inverted. There it is. I didn't notice it last time because we didn't have the game capture set up right. That's plus. Air raid. One thing I'll say is I don't see you do it much. We'll talk about, and I'm no Leo player, so don't go crazy and be like, Brad said this. Is like, I don't see you 2S and like make contact as much as like you probably could. I think 2S is a really great button for Leo to help him in like certain situations. Every time I see it, and like the fact that it's like still plus on IB and stuff is like really big. I believe it's +1 still on IB. It's like +3 on regular block, I want to say. And it's really helpful, especially like I think versus like someone like Pat, the way he usually defends is pretty nice. A little early, it looked like. This is far. I will say, like, drive-by advice, in my opinion. So I'm going to talk about the situation. If Chipp can't get the combo here, which you can kind of assume he can't because he's really far from the wall, you're a big character and maybe he'll get it. But if you're gonna tech, in my opinion, it's not super duper safe, but don't tech into Chipp. I would rather get air thrown here than get hit by 6H or get 6P'd or 2H'd. I would much rather get air thrown by Chipp here. So a lot of the times I will tech away from Chipp and not towards him here. And if he if he catches the tech out, that's fine. Chipp's air throw doesn't really have like crazy good reward. He's basically like just gonna try to safe jump you, and you can RPS with backdash or blitz or whatever afterwards if you need to, right? So like look at this situation. He gets the air throw. As he's doing this, the mix-up is gonna be if he does, because he did early teleport and Leo wakes up kind of late. He's either gonna go low and the low is unprotected to like backdash or throw OS or even flash kick, or he does delayed jump S. I think flash kick beats everything but him like air dashing back here, I'm pretty sure. But the point is that he's kind of gonna have to RPS with you when he does teleports like this. See, like delayed jump S is good at catching the the throw S. It's actually not that great. This situation is kind of hard for Chipp to like catch backdash unless he commits in a way that would be like very flash kickable or potentially throw OSable. Honestly, he has to like air dash here to catch backdash, but a lot of backdashes will get out of the low and get out of the delayed jump S. Keep in mind, like, it's worth learning the air throw situation with Chipp because he gets them a lot when people jump versus him. And I like to RPS here a good bit versus Chipp, especially if I haven't spent my burst yet. Because I'm like, well, fuck it. Like, I might as well take the interaction, in my opinion. Okay, waiting is better. If you're worried about, like, we'll talk about some of the normals to look for. This is one of the normals I look for versus Chipp when I'm blocking, personally, is 6H. 6H is a normal that has, like, it has a lot of options, kind of, like, technically, I guess, but it really only feels like it boils down to a handful. Spend your burst, leverage your burst. Oh, that was crazy interaction. Safe jump. Should kill, yeah. That actually gave less back than I thought, but it gave back a lot. So this is another button. 2D is another button. 6H, 2D. 2D is a button you want to keep in mind versus Chipp because he can only special cancel this, right? He can't jump cancel it and there are no more Gatlings after it. It's not like that minus, I think, but I tend to mash a bit versus this button. His best counterplay is like jumping or like teleporting or whatever. Like, something to consider is like an early gamble you could do, especially if you instant block this move, in my opinion, is like if you instant block this move, you can do like dash button right after. Because if he teleports in like in place, you're gonna dash like into it and punish him. If he H teleports, you're gonna like dash out of the H teleport as you're doing stuff. And if he does Rekka 1, like if he does the Rekka cancel, it doesn't combo into anything. He's plus, and that's kind of annoying, but like you could kill Chipp here if you guess right. Right? Like if you dash forward and press a button there, he just dies. Right? He doesn't have good like punishment there if he doesn't have the bar. Honestly, even if he has the bar, it's kind of weird for him, in my opinion. This is cool. Like, I love 2S here, right? I love 2S. I love, like, I wish more Leos would just, like, versus people that want to push him out, just do, like, not 2S. Actually, yeah, I would 2S immediately, like, right after this. Because the thing is, like, Pat wants to push you out and then interact afterwards. So, like, if you do meaty 2S, you don't get pushed out that far, and you're, like, +5 now. So it's, like, pretty easy to press a lot of your other buttons, like // really easily. That was a good mash from him. Another situation, like, defensively, here, I'll try to pause less, because I want to just talk about his stuff in training mode a little more. But if you ever block Rekka 1 like this, is another situation that's the same. If I instant block Rekka 1 here, like this, I'm probably going to hold up back. Once he does Rekka 1, all he has is Rekka 2, the little delayed one. It doesn't combo unless it counter hits you. So I'm not going to press a button here, because that's what he wants. But I am going to hold up and away, because if he does something like this, I'm just going to jump out of it. Right? Another thing to consider, I haven't seen it yet, and like, we'll see, is like waiting and blitzing, that's also strong, if you're not comfortable in your anti-airs. So 2D, Rekka 1, right? Nothing happens, he backs off. Nice catch. That was a crazy run-up 2H. I guess he was really banking on the mash, maybe. He might have messed up run-up Gamma, though. Oh, that sucks. He wanted to cross up. Yeah, so something I'll talk about is, like, Flash Kick is cool, but it clashes or whatever. You could just blitz here. Especially, I mean, this is niche, but if you blitz, you just blitz Weapon X and you win the round. Because he can't return the blitz anymore. So, like, I would have waited, I would have blitzed, and you just Weapon X and you win the round. You don't even have to play RPS anymore, because your super will kill. Okay, that was pretty great. Oh, shit. Seeing a danger time, like, seeing how long Chipp was red there was just funny. He got counter hit, he was just there forever. 2S is good. Nice catch. Oh, no combo. I wouldn't worry about the burst, man. I wouldn't worry about the burst. I know that that's gonna whiff on the burst, and it's like you still kind of get a block string, but getting a burst out is honestly, I think, like a good thing for Leo, because he's not exactly great in neutral. But you're not so bad, you're like Potemkin level, where you're like, I'm never gonna get in again. Where it's like, just get rid of the burst, man, and then just win neutral. 2S is similar, by the way. 2S is another button I tend to look for, although it's kind of hard, because I believe 2S might be plus, maybe? I have to check that, honestly. But 2S has no more Gatlings after it. There's also a trick I want to say that you should try a little bit more. It's honestly mostly going to be great versus Pat, more than like anybody else, but I'm going to be real, man. I don't know what other Chipp you're fighting besides Pat. So it's like, you might as well. Let me write it down. I was watching. That's a good mash. One of the things I was gonna say, by the way, is like, and I've noticed it, is like, Pat is really good at doing things so that if you do little XYRC, you might get Gamma Blade trade, and obviously, like, this might, if you're not ready and you do the little XYRC too late, you're just gonna Gamma trade and he's gonna win. And so it's about learning how to use your resources and shit, like, in different ways. I actually think, for as minus as Chipp is, I don't actually think weapon, like, little X YRC is, like, that great, in my opinion. Just because I know how H teleport works, and it's like, because Flash Kick is kind of, like, not gonna consistently beat H teleport, it makes, like, little X not that great, in my opinion. Because if he just does one of these, then you're in a weird spot. Don't mash here. A normal that I kind of wait around on, like, something you can do is anytime you're seeing close slash staggers, you can rip a flash kick. The thing about Chipp is he staggers close slash a lot. That's like his main, like, hey, I need you to do something type button. But the thing he wants you to do is mash, so you just don't interact with it. One thing you also have not done, like, in the last couple matches, you just have to blitz Chipp, man. Like, it's the only way to get him to not just safe jump you till the end of time. It's, like, really important to consider. It's not because it's just, like, it's free, just do it, like, every single time, but it's, like, you kind of have to do it. I'm down for Jazz Fusion Marble. Watch this one. We should have time for, like, one more, and then we'll talk about some stuff. Most of it seems fine. I think you are right. I think you do kind of wait a while, and your like selection of what you're picking is a little bit weird. Oh, that was a crazy big X. Like, that takes a lot longer to get out than little XYRC. Oh, you should just super here. I think you just super and send it as soon as you hit this. Because it's like, Weapon X has a lot of damage, but you're still gonna have to get around burst no matter what. Yeah. Let me write down some of the stuff I wrote too, because I didn't like write down some of it. Yeah, I like waiting there. It's fine. That's a catch. Wow, he actually really does like that versus Leo. I guess it's honestly a pretty great move to trade with. It makes sense. This is a great move to do this on, by the way. 2H is one of the #1. Like, I'm gonna dash forward and do something a lot after this button, because he's gonna lock in the teleport kind of preemptively, like banking on the trade or the hit, or the counter hit specifically. There you go. Yes. Like, it's good, man. Like, it's you have a lot of health to work with, and that's like a really big factor for why it's kind of okay for Leo to gamble. This is a good burst point if you want to take it. I wouldn't sweat it like too much, but like once Chipp air dashes and hits me here, it's pretty much like guaranteed to burst. I want to say. I don't think any Chipp's doing like punch, jump kick here. Like, it's like never happening basically. So like here you could have bursted if you wanted to. Right? I don't mind bursting Chipp like in most situations. If I'm like, yeah, I can kill him like this, potentially. 2, 3, 6, 6. Yeah. Oh, that was lucky. That was not gonna combo. I guess you could have roaming canceled into like jump S into weapon or into air raid. By the way, I think most of your was that after 2S? It was, right? It was after. Yeah, it was after 2S. Yeah, you tried to run up. I think your neutral's fine for what it's worth. I think it seems like it's hard for Leo to. Every time I watch this matchup, it seems like it's hard for him to take space versus Chipp, because Chipp has pretty good buttons. He sticks out, and he doesn't really care about the whiff cancel thing that much, like that Leo's doing in neutral. I would wait. Whenever somebody bursts you, this is like drive-by advice if you want to take it or not. Anytime somebody bursts me, I just tech and I wait. I tech and I wait because it's like, technically if they wait, like none of my approaches should work. But sometimes I do get punished for that. I basically don't get aggressive when people burst me. I think it's like not worth it. I would watch another, but I think yeah, 20 minutes is probably like how much I'm gonna need for this. Let me really quick grab my hitbox now. He plays on all input devices. I haven't touched my stick in so long though. It felt kind of gross once I got used to the new lever that's like all switches or whatever. But yeah, I think the big thing for you would be and I've mentioned this before for like other Leos, is trying to understand matchups where I think it's a little bit more beneficial for Leo to IB every now and then than FD is like important. I don't think that you get like a ton of value off of like pushing. A lot of Leos learn to block it out and push people out until they can weapon X to solve their problems. But in a way, like Chipp doesn't really care that much. Or at least I think he doesn't really care that much about like you pushing him out. I want to talk about some of the normals that are like important to pay attention to, because I kind of just wait around. I do one of two things. Either I'm gambling on close slash, right? So like for example, if he does like this and he like if he likes doing this, then I'll just like I'll learn the timing on it. Let me see if I can get the flash kick like that, right? I'll take my gamble on close slash, like just as soon as I see it, right? You can do that. You can do Blitz. Blitz is scary because sometimes Chipp will lock in 2D after close slash. And so if he does 2D Rekka 1, it's a pretty good situation for him. Like, he'll tend to get that combo a lot. He'll do a teleport. You don't get knocked down, so it's not that bad. Unless you're close to the corner, then he can knock you down. But for the most part, it's not the worst. But I feel like if you're Leo and you're gambling, like, I would just do this if I was going to gamble, like immediately. It's gonna force him to respect you a little bit, or it's gonna force him to start to do things like this more, right? And so, like, if I'm like, yeah, he's gonna do that situation, then it's like, okay, oh my god, it's been a while. I will try to, like, block. Oh my god. I haven't played on my hitbox in a minute. Oh my god, I can't instant block. Dude, Chipp is hard to instant block. If you instant block 2D here, it's pretty great. I'm just not used to it on my... I feel like I'm really bad on it on my hitbox still. But the idea is when you start gambling there, he'll like start to do things like, oh, I'm gonna do close slash into another button. The button tends to be something like 2D, and if you instant block it, I think like IB. So like, let's say he does like... I'll try to make the string a little bit easier for me to IB, hopefully. To like prove a point. Let me see. Something that's important to note about Chipp is like his special cancels aren't really like delayable. He kind of like has to lock in a lot of them before he does anything. So like, if you do something, yeah, like here we go. Right, like if you're doing like boom, 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 I see that and I do like backdash. That's the input for like me trying to do like forward dash 5P, 5K, and like Chipp probably won't hit me there, is my guess. Right, so like, right, like sometimes you'll get clipped, maybe, but like most of the time you'll backdash out or you'll get like a pretty decent situation off of this. god, I can't get the 2D. I actually can't get this IV timing, like, on hitbox. Let me just focus on getting the 2D. Right, so if you do something like that, I don't get, like, hit there against Chipp, right? He can't special cancel that, he can't jump cancel that. If he does something like this instead, which is, like, another thing that he can obviously rotate. We'll go through, like, his most common special cancels, right? Another thing he'll try to do versus people is, like, he'll try to do in-place teleport every now and then. Dude, that's crazy. Chipp actually cannot delay special cancels. What a crazy character. I'm so used to the concept of it. So many other characters can. Right? So if you get this situation, you just start pressure, right? Right, so like 2D IB, like IBing 2D into gambling is like pretty good. Bread can't IB? Dude, I don't have to IB to press S and H together on it. It's fine. Shit is not changing versus Chipp. There we go. Does that make sense, TomTom? Like, 2D is a good button to gamble on. So Chipp, if you didn't know, like in case anybody didn't know, Chipp cannot special cancel into Gamma Blade. It's coded that way. Like, I can't do Gamma Blade off of any of my buttons. So he just can't ever, like, frame trap you with anything scary. Worst case situation, honestly, is just this. Is you run into this button. And so, like a lot of the times, I don't mind this situation versus Chipp because, like, if he hits you with this, it's like 10 damage and he's plus. And he still has to, like, figure out how he's gonna actually open you up. I think Chipp's pressure, I think it's kind of bad. Like, I don't think he's as good at controlling situations as other people. And he doesn't build enough bar to just be doing stuff like this all day. Right? So, like, gambling on 2D by, like, running up. If you IB specifically, I think it's great to run up. I think it's really unlikely that a Chipp player is going to do something like this, which I think maybe will work. Yeah. And, like, even this is kind of like... but one of the things I want to point out is, like, you do kind of want to, like, make Chipp do things differently, is, like, a big thing. Don't use your usual stuff. The reason pressing this and pressing this is kind of whatever out of block is because the H teleport exists. You don't want to forget that Chipp will just go above you. Leo's usually pretty good at pushing people out and then sticking this out. Or more likely sticking this out. He pushes people into a range like this where nothing hits, and then he's like, I'll just 5H. And, like, Chipp doesn't care as much as other people, is what it boils down to. And then similarly, I think because if you do this, like, let's say he does this and he teleports again, I don't think the Weapon X is that great, personally. Right? Because if you do this, like, it's going to turn around, you're going to get, like, a weird misinput. Like, you're kind of better off dashing when you see this button and seeing, like, what happens. Because you get clipped a lot in weird ways versus Chipp, but the idea is, like, he doesn't get a combo off that straight hit. Even if he gets the hit like that, he won't combo you anymore. Right? I'm not, like, a big fan of, like, flash kick, because I find that by the time Leos are, like, flash kick time, like, Chipp often, like, clashes or baits it or something. The fact that this doesn't always hit makes it not great, in my opinion. I don't think you want to take that gamble versus Chipp. Another thing, so, like, this logic that I'm saying of, like, just, like, see the button and sometimes gamble and move forward, or sometimes gamble and, like, hold up is, like, another thing. Like, sometimes I'll just gamble and, like, hold up at him on his special cancels. Because, like, you're just kind of jumping away from a lot of stuff. And if he does teleport in place, he's basically like, oh, he might, like, you're going to see him teleport in place, and he might JD, and so I'll probably, like, just air dash back or something. Or like, delay my descent. Like, as Leo, I would do something like this. And I think, especially if you have 50 bar, it's probably, like, not that bad to do, like, I see 2D, I'm going to gamble, right? And if you see he didn't jump like this, you're like, oh, I will do this. Because he's probably going to 6P. Like, every Chipp player is going to 6P there. I would 6P there. It's a good button. So like you have a, it's not as good as a lot of the other ones in the game. It's probably the worst one if I had to guess. But you do have a dive kick. So like jumping into him is also not like the end of the world if you make a gamble out of it, because then he has to start pressing 2H instead, and then that means that this works again, etc., etc. Or he just like sees you jump and you get away, etc. Right? Jumping and baiting an anti-air means that you can sometimes back off, reset, and then like you're out. You're not in pressure anymore, right? The logic of like gambling versus him, you can do it anytime Chipp doesn't have 50 bar. If he has 50 bar, it's a little dicey to see the move and be like, I'm gonna dash at him, because he can do Rekka 1, 2, RC and get a pretty decent combo out of it, right? But still, the same logic I said for 2D. You can do it on like 2S is pretty alright, but it's not as good as 2D because 2D is more minus, I believe. Let me double check really quick. But you can do it on that button. You can do it on 6H is really good. Those are like the main 3 buttons I do it on. Anything else, he can kind of like recover fast enough that I think it's a little iffy is the way I would put it. But he tends to press those buttons. Oh no, 2S is minus. It's just way less minus. It's -1, so it's really hard to like mash on it. But for sure 2D, for sure 2H, for sure 6H. Technically 6H is jump cancelable, but like no Chipp is jump canceling during their pressure. They're almost always teleporting. They're almost always teleporting or doing Rekka 1s, right? And the idea, by the way, is like the more you interact with him, the more he's tempted to do like this versus you. And then you IB this, and now he's like really minus, and he has to gamble again. It's like, does he want to go for the frame trap, or does he want to give up space in his pressure, right? And it's like a lot of the times Chipp will probably give up the space in his pressure, but you're making RPS out of it, right? You will make RPS out of it just off of like you doing some different decision. Like you taking initiative on those buttons means he starts pressing this more, which means that when he presses this, you can dash after that and gamble versus the second hit. Kind of the same idea, especially because Leo's probably dashing and not mashing immediately, though you could if you wanted to. And then it's like one or the other, right? Like either he's gonna do this. If he has 50 bar, I'll usually respect it, because you can essentially force Chipp to spend 50 bar just doing this. He's gonna Roman cancel 50 bar. It's like, that's it. He spent 50 bar on more pressure versus a character with like a flash kick, right? Is how I look at it. A flash kick and a ton of health. So look for those buttons as like a level 1. Another thing I was gonna say is if you find you're struggling with teleport, I do think the blitz is worth it. Save your bar some more. Don't push Chipp away from you, by the way. I didn't see you do it, I want to say. But I don't think you want to push Chipp away from you. He wants to be farther from you. If he didn't hit you immediately, he wants to be farther from you, probably. Because once he's this distance, he can like stick shit out or run away or Gamma Blade you. Because your approach is so telegraphed, right? He's either going to Gamma Blade you if you try anything on the ground, or if you jump because you're scared of Gamma Blade, he has amazing anti-airs. And you can't really play around them that easily, right? So like, don't push him out. Keep him in. Even if you're like, I really want the charge, it's gonna be so hard to use this, in my opinion. I don't think it's easy to use this versus Chipp. It's up to you, but I think you get more value out of instant blocking and trying to practice that versus him. The last thing I'll say is like, another reason it's cool to jump and make like different RPS out of it versus Chipp, at least in my opinion, is you can gamble on his air throws. So like, for example, if you're like here, do it like this. Didn't do it fast enough. Let's say like this. So like anytime you're here, Chipp actually, when he teleports, can get like a decent situation. He always has to like RPS there if he's gonna do it, right? So let's say I do. I think I can set this up. Oh wait, I have to do it. Oh, this is weird. Okay, hopefully this will pull it off. Oh, please tell me this is like an actual throw input. Okay, it is. I just have to like be in throw range, which might be like here. Yes, I got it. So anytime he's here, his mix-up is like early teleport like this, right? And what he does is like, he's either gonna do like a safe jump, or he's gonna bait like throw. Anytime you see Chipp here, the RPS, in my opinion, is actually like kind of straightforward. Once I see this with Chipp and he teleports, he's doing it early because he can do it a little bit later. He's gonna be for sure on like one side of you. He can't really change that in this situation. So you kind of boil it down to like flash kick, backdash, or blitz in my opinion. Backdash here is like very solid at getting out and forcing Chipp to like pick something that is gonna be scary into flash kick or blitz potentially, right? If you do backdash, you usually get out of the low and you get out of the high, whatever he's picking, and he has to start doing things like delayed air dash, which are obviously gonna lose to like flash kick, right? And then you start to sort of like skew things to where you're like, okay, cool, like now I can like fish for more shit. Basically, the way I would put it is Pat kind of like never stopped safe jumping you, which to me, when you're fighting a Chipp and he always safe jumps you, that's kind of like a little bit of a red flag. If you're a character with a meterless reversal specifically, because there are things that you can try spamming to get value out of that, and it's gonna force him to want to overcommit because he's not gonna want to see you get away all the time. Whenever you see him, even when he obviously like it's hard when he's doing it like this because you don't know what side, but like even when he's doing this, do more backdashing, like as a level 1. Like just do a backdash a little bit. Don't make it your whole game plan, but you're like, you know what, I'll get out and I'll press a button, right? I think get out into press / is probably fine. Get out into press 5k. He's usually pretty close to you. So like backdash 5k might be fine, etc. You don't do it because he can't stop it. You do it because he's never going to get flash kicked unless you give him a reason to get flash kicked, right? And blitz is cool, but like I think just backdashing is safer, right? Like, even if he goes low, it's probably not going to catch you that well. But he'll catch a blitz. Backdashing forces Chipp to, like, have to, like, get his pressure a different way. Because at the very least, even if you backdash and block, he's pressing, like, far slash or something, right? Like, he's going to press a button like this, or a button like this, like this. And it's, like, not that great. Because, like, if he presses this, he's going to do, like, this, and you're like, that button looks familiar. That's the button I want to interact with as Leo, or anybody, honestly, right? I think those are like big things to consider in my opinion, right? Things that are not that great versus Chipp in my opinion are like pushing him out, gambling in place a lot, like which Leo tends to do with buttons like this, and jumping if you don't play around his anti-air. If you just jump and then double jump it's not good versus Chipp. Chipp is the kind of character where, like, he'll whiff this, he'll see you double jump, and he'll run underneath you, and he'll do it again. Because you don't have another double jump, right? That's, like, a really common thing, right? So, like, if you do this, and you double jump, he's just going to recover, and he's going to do it again, right? If you end up in this situation, you kind of just have to do this if you're going to commit to anything. I know it's not great, but the idea is, I think it's okay to scramble versus Chipp. You kind of want to scramble versus Chipp, if that makes sense. Honestly, I thought your neutral was fine. I thought your pressure was okay. I think you should use more of this because the idea is like you're setting up a frame trap that like links, right? So in other words, like if he was doing a lot of delayed mashing versus you, then you can just do this and you might have better results. Like there's not really much he can do versus 2S that's going to make it not good. Even when you instant block this move, Leo is still plus, right? So, like, certain things like expediting 2S in the block string, I think are really underrated with Leo, right? I think a lot of Leos don't appreciate this button that much because, like, it doesn't do that much, but, like, it combos on regular hit too, right? Right? Yeah. So, like, I think when you run up, if you're doing, especially when you're doing pressure like this, TomTom, and they block it, you should just do like a delayed, like a frame trap 2S, if that makes sense, right? Like if I was in this situation, because you're really good at getting the far slash into this, I would learn to time a frame trap with 2S here, personally. That's like, I don't play Leo, but I'm like, this just seems pretty good, honestly. Because like worst case, you just press a button, you're plus. No matter what, you're plus. Or they IB, and you're just like, okay, like I'm minus, you can still see the IB, you can even like wait and press like far slash from here and see if you get them. You could probably wait and do like 6H if you want. I don't know. I don't play Leo, but I do think having this button be a problem for them is like really important. You can even like kick throw off of it. You can do 6k delay cancel if they always IB and mash. I think this button is really good. I like forcing 2S more personally than this, right? And you don't have to pick. No Leo wants to do it, but you don't have to pick a mid there. Technically, you could press 2K. I know it's slow. It's like 7 frames or something like that. But you're +3 there on regular block. That's not that big a deal, honestly. And things like 2K, 2D, I think are spaced there, aren't they? So like, well, actually, maybe not. Not if they IB it, but if they don't, you're good. But yeah, those are hopefully like things to consider. I would try to stray away from your usual habits. Tell yourself when you're getting safe jump to backdash it more. After he throws you, that's a good spot. Like after he air throws you specifically, that's a good spot to consider it. Obviously the blitz is nice versus H teleport. I don't like relying on flash kick as much. If it's gonna clash, it's kind of weird. Or if he just baits it, it's really bad. Look for those normals out of him. I saw you jump every now and then, but you look like you psyched yourself out because you're like, I don't know what to do versus him. So if you're gonna jump at Chipp, I think you should dive kick a little bit more at him too, like this. Especially if you have the 50 bar, because I think it's not great, but this shit combos on a regular hit, right? Although honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't seem that great. Well, maybe actually. I didn't realize like how consistently he gets this. Because a Chipp to me is a character where you have to focus on maximizing like situations where you're like, if I'm right, he gets hit. Stuff like that is good versus Chipp. Like it's worth spending, in my opinion, 50 bar to do that. Something like that versus Chipp. Because I don't have to win a lot of exchanges versus him. I just have to make sure I'm picking spots where my exchanges win. Right? Pay attention to his normals. Do some of that stuff. Pay attention to this button more too. I didn't talk about it as much, but like close slash is where he staggers a lot of his pressure. Like it's his main plus. It's his main like pressure tool. It's plus a lot. It's fast. It combos into itself on crouch. Like he's gonna take a lot of interactions here. And I think early on versus Chipp, it's nice to make him overthink it. It's nice to do things like this early, or like if you want to take the gamble, it's nice to do things like this early. Because Chipp is gonna start picking more of the normals you want him to pick now. Because he's not gonna want to frame trap you all the time if you gamble. Or he's gonna think like, I need to bait blitz, let me do 2D, right? And so you bait the normals that you want out of him more. That's how I think of how I like do my pressure versus Chipp. Also, eating a throw from Chipp is pretty chill, even on the ground, because it's like the same situation. If he throws you like this, he's just gonna like do a safe jump type of like a thing that you can backdash again, right? So eating his throw is also pretty good. I think Leo, if I had to pick one thing that seems pretty nice as Leo, he's really tanky, and it means that to me you can like gamble a lot versus Chipp as long as you do it responsibly. And you're going to probably out-meter gain him, etc., etc. So I think that's pretty good. Hopefully that gives you, like, concrete ideas to try versus Chipp. I find a lot of people don't pay attention to these buttons enough. And he has, like, really obvious buttons where I'm like, oh, I should interact with that. Oh, they were the first person that did there. Let me see. This is great info. Appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully, let me know if any of that, if that works out. Let me know how that goes. Hopefully it sticks. 15 minutes is kind of long. We'll skip the first, like, 5 minutes. Oh, this is perfect, actually. This match finished, like, right when I'm gonna watch it. Here it is. Oh, last thing, since you're probably still lurking, I didn't cover it, but if he starts to do like something like into gamma a lot, like he pushes himself out and he tries to gamma safely, because you keep dashing and pressing shit, then you can kind of jump at Chipp, and you can start dive kicking, or you can start air dashing back, I think. And remember, like if he starts air you kind of want it so that he has to like air throw you, and it's like hard for him to anti-air you. That way you get a lot of RPS versus Chipp. All right, let me see. All right, 320 is Onyx, dude. I'll be a little generous because I think I was late. We'll give it like 10 minutes, but technically technically, I did write in the rules. Where is it? In all bold. If you are more than 5 minutes late to your time slot during the stream, you just get skipped. We have had, in our history, one skip. One skip has happened. One person dude, you know what was funny is that person felt really bad probably. Because they messaged me. We'll start the timer because it's basically like they're late. One person messaged me the day after. Very remorseful. They were like, I am so sorry. And I was like, it happens. Like, it's not the worst thing ever. But it is really funny to me. Because, like, I'm not that person frequently, but I have been that person. I know what that feels like. I feel kind of bad when I forget to message people at the right time. Like, I've had some VOD reviews where like, because I'll always say, I try to message people like 5 or 6 p.m.-ish, because I try to consider the East Coast a lot, and I like assuming people have decent sleep schedules, even though most video gamers don't, obviously. So I don't like to do it late, but I have definitely had like once or twice where I'm like, oh my god, it's like 9 or 10 p.m. and I didn't message anybody, and I'm like, fuck. I should probably set reminders on my calendar, honestly. It doesn't happen a lot. It's happened like twice where I forgot to message people in a timely fashion to confirm time slots. But we might have the second dodge of all time, which is really funny. The thing for me is this VOD review is not so strict or like such a big deal that I'm like, how dare you waste the time? Like, we only got 4 submissions, right? We didn't even fill up, so it's like not that big a deal to me. But to me, I do find a lot of satisfaction. And this must be how TOs feel, like in the rare moments when they get to like be like, no, fuck you specifically. Because I had somebody, like I had an unnamed individual message me and they were like, is it too late for VOD review submission yesterday? And the slot was open, but I'm like, the cutoff was Friday. I'm like, yes, it's too late. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Or I'm like, dude, if people don't want to like remember in the moment or like they miss it or whatever, it's a little on me because I don't plug it everywhere. Like, I don't plug it everywhere. So I totally understand that, like, sometimes it's just easy to miss. I posted one time in anime, like in NorCal AFGC, and that's kind of it. Like, I posted on my Bluesky and I posted on NorCal AFGC. I don't like plugging VOD review because, respectfully, I don't give a shit if any of you don't come to VOD review. I love the idea of it existing for people that care, if that makes sense. But I'm not like, oh my god, please, please, please come to my VOD review. Like, I'm just like, whatever, man. If none of you show up, I will get a Saturday or Sunday to myself again, right? So I'm very indifferent on that shit. But it is sometimes like maybe worth. The thing is I don't like spamming it. Like I don't like people that plug their shit nonstop. Even though I doubt anybody would care, because VOD review is just like a good thing for the community, obviously, that I'm trying to do. So I don't imagine anyone's like, wow, Bread really posts that every day, man. But I'm just kind of like, you know what? Once is enough. Once, and I post it on my Bluesky, there's like 2 or 3 people that will retweet it. Got like, you know, shout outs to them. And that's it. I'm just like, if you missed it, it comes back in 2 weeks, man. Life goes on. By the way, I missed it, I think, but shoutouts to the anniversary of VOD review. I think it's been roughly a year since I started doing this. We have quite a few of them. Let me see. Oh, I just bookmarked it. We can actually find it. But I don't know. I guess I could plug it more. I might do... I'll do like what streamers do, I guess. And I'll put like exclamation point VOD review that week or something in my stream. Maybe I'll just add a Nightbot command and we'll call it a day. Because I just don't like plugging shit much, if I'm being honest. Dude, didn't I just bookmark this? What's the point in bookmarking things? If they like don't want to be bookmarked and like accessible, like. True. Maybe I can find it on YouTube. Also, everybody get ready to pour one out, man. It's been roughly like 5-ish minutes. But hey, this means we get 30 minutes to just shoot the shit, which I'm not opposed to. I love shooting the shit. Notification? I got a new follower? I think I posted them late, so the date is off. But it should be roughly a year. Yeah, because the first VOD review was like 10 months ago, but I'm pretty sure I posted the first like 4 VODs on YouTube really late. By the way, if anybody's ever curious, because a lot of this knowledge is kind of general, anybody that is lurking and interested, there's like a playlist of these, right? And I'm not like, oh, go watch like a million of them, but I timestamp them with everything that's like submitted. I don't know how to do it on the video. Somebody, if they know how, feel free to show me, because I would love to like put it on the video, but I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I was too lazy to like really look into it. But like, let's say you're like going through and you're just like, I wonder what he talked about on like this one, and you go through and you're like, let's see, oh, it's Dizzy versus Soul. Maybe I can learn something about Dizzy versus Soul on this one, because I'm a Soul player, you know? And like, okay, what happened 5 months ago? Oh, never mind, I didn't. Wait, did I not timestamp this one? Is this one of the first ones? Oh, I must have fucked up. I usually timestamp these. I might have been lazy on this one. I might have forgot. Maybe I'll just go back and timestamp it then. But like, for example, like last week's, right? Like, let's see, I go through and it's like, the problem is I'm usually talking from one perspective, so you have to test your luck a little bit. But you might be like, I play, you know, like, I play the Elfo, and like, let's see what he has to say about like this into like Johnny. A lot of the times, obviously, it's directed towards the player, but there's like general advice in a lot of these for anybody that's ever curious. It's part of the reason I save. Well, no, it's not true. Most of the reason I save them is so that the people that actually had their VOD review can go back if they're ever like, what did I say about this? You know. But that's you know, that's always there for like people that want to use it. All right, pour one out. Do I have like a pour one out emote? I think I have like the mango 40 now. Pour one out, man. I will say it feels a lot worse probably to be the first than to be the second guy. But I don't know. Should I do that? We should. What if we create a strike-based system? And I'm like, strike 1. You get to 3 strikes, you're not allowed in my stream anymore. Don't even look at my VOD reviews. Oh, actually, I can fix the camera real quick, actually, because, let me see. This is actually a good opportunity to clean my OBS while I talk, too, because my OBS has been, like, really fucked up recently. I keep like adding stuff and removing stuff, and now it's all like, all my scenes are all messy. Not that they were not messy before, but like now it's really bad. There's like duplicate captures of shit. Like, you know what would be really funny is if I just played Slay the Spire for like 20 minutes. This is formatted so weird, though, if I do it like this. Maybe I should just leave it, like, how it was. Get a quick rundown. Have you been playing Spire 2 at all, TomTom? I never played Spire 1, and I bought Spire 2, because I was like, you know what? This does seem like a good opportunity, right? And, dude, I was telling people yesterday, I bought the game. Been playing quite a bit. Me too, man. I literally bought the game on last Saturday. I bought it last Saturday night. I have like 60 hours in Slay the Spire. I can't stop, bro. It's too fun. It's too fun. Look at that. Last 2 weeks, 17 hours on Xerker. I don't remember the last time it looked like that. I have 64 hours since last Saturday night. I just like, all I do when I'm like watching shit or like waiting around is that, man. Like, shit is just too fun. Okay, we'll just do it like this. It's fine. This is like pretty decently sized. You have 15 to 16? That's what I should have, man. But I don't know, man. It's too fun. Do you have a person that you usually play? I told myself I want to try to get Ascension 5, like in the order of characters I like. And I'm finally on Ascension 5 for Defect. Defect has been really fun. funny. You also love Defect? Dude, I was like, I'm finally hitting the wall though. I'm not a card game guy, so I'm not actually like good at card games. Like I have no experience with them. And I was like finally starting to get the hang of it, and I'm at I'm at A5, and now I'm like, fuck man, I'm not good at card games. I feel like every time I'm playing Defect, I like don't know what to take anymore, bro. Like they'll give me like the fucking little chomper, and I'm like, okay, I'll take the little chomper guy, because I'm like, you know what, that guy's pretty cool. Like maybe I'll just get a bunch. Maybe I'll get like boost away. Maybe I'll get like overclock, etc., etc. Like there's cards. I'll take the slime, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna kind of wait for this, and then I'll get like channel darkness. Channel lightning, like with like the defensive lightning. I think it's lightning rod. I'll just get a bunch of cards where I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking take these, right? Which I'm sure is like maybe like a scrub mentality. But dude, I get so like, oh dude, I hate it. Hold on, let me look at the Slay the Spire cards. Where's Defect? There's like so many cards where I'm just like, dude, why can't I get what I want, man? I'm not even asking for, like, busted shit. Like, I'm not like, why can't I get blue every time? It's just like, how come I keep getting Claw or, like, fucking Cold Snap or something when I don't want, like, any of that shit? Like, I'll be early on and I'll try to take, like, safe picks, right? Like, I feel like, what is it? Sweeping Beam feels kind of like a safe pick. Hold on, let me put this back up. I feel like Sweeping Beam is kind of safe. Dude, I don't know how I feel about Cold Snap. Why does it only do 6 damage? Like, do they, like, is generating 1 Frost supposed to be that good? I think of it as, like, a way to move the orbs, obviously, right? Like, if you have a good setup with the orbs, then it's essentially, like, you're paying to move the wheel, too. But I feel like you can do that with better shit, right? I don't know. I feel like the Frost one is very, like, I don't really like Cold Snap that much. And sometimes I'm like, how else am I supposed to generate ice if I don't get, like, cool-headed? Like, I'm just waiting around for cool-headed, or I'm really fucking crossing my finger that I get, like, the GOAT. Where's the GOAT? Glacier? Fucking love Glacier. I take Glacier a good bit. It feels like a pretty safe card. A lot of the times. I feel like if I'm generating ice, I'm like, well, fuck it. I might as well, like, take Glacier, you know? Or like, dude, I'll start like building into orbs a lot. Because I'm like, I want to build into orbs. And then they're like, I'll finish a fight or two and they'll be like, hey, you want Claw and also go for the eyes. And maybe you want fucking Compact. And I'm like, dude, I don't want any of these. Although Compact is pretty good. Compact, when I found out that Compact works on statuses from the enemy, I was like, okay, Compact's pretty solid. Compact is like not bad. I sometimes just take it, but it's like a really big gamble. Because if you run into guys that just spam statuses, sometimes Compact feels nice. Because like transform all the statuses in your hand is pretty sick into like a handful of the enemies in the game. Double energy is cool, but I kind of hate it until you upgrade it. Because it's like, when you upgrade it, that shit feels like kind of cracked out. Double energy, 0 cost, so that you get the 6 at worst. But then you play double energy on, like, non-upgraded, and you're like, sick, I have 4 mana instead of 3 mana. It's like, ah, oh, dude. I guess I should take it more, because it plays pretty well into some of the other cards. Like, if you pull Cool-Headed, I'm going to try to take more double energy every now and then. Because I realize that some of the better cards, to me, like, the trade-off to them is like spending that 1 mana feels kind of bad. So I might start taking like double energy more so that I can like play Glacier and it doesn't feel as bad, or like Cool-Headed and it feels pretty good, or like Sweeping Beam and like I get the refund on it and maybe it feels better. But I don't know, maybe I'm just bad. I feel like I have a really hard time synergizing his cards if they don't make it easy for me. Like when they throw nothing but synergy in my face, I'm like, sick. Dude, I have a run right now. It's kind of memes, I'm not gonna lie. Because I transformed... I picked Transform card, right? I picked Transform card on the first one. Where is it? Because like I kept getting like kind of whatever starting options. I kept getting the fucking whale or whatever. And I'm like, man, the whale. Wait, you always get the whale, I think, right? My options were like super whatever, but my transform, my first transform strike turned into, where is it? Echo form. I got echo form out of the first transform. And I'm like, dude, surely I can't lose with echo form in the deck. This shit works in like every deck. It's busted. However, I thought it would be really funny, and I'm hoping I survive long enough to somehow get the value out of it. The second or like third fight I did, I got another echo form in the rewards, and I took it. I have 2 echo forms in the deck right now. It's so hard to try to play them because they both cost 3 mana. I'm gonna take like anything that generates mana, maybe. I'm just like, fuck, dude, this is so hard. Like, I'm trying to avoid like all of the elites until I can get a bunch of like other cards, basically. But having 2 echo forms in the deck with the intention of trying to do like, no, it's bad. It's almost certainly really bad that I took another. I have like 12 cards or 13 cards in the deck, and 2 of them are echo form. But I want to live the dream that I survive long enough that I can echo form, which you can do, if I'm not mistaken. Like I was in a Spire stream, and I think they said you can echo form. And I'm just like, dude, I want to get there. I want to be able to play the first card 8 times or whatever the fuck it ends up being, right? 4 times, right? Because it's first card plays twice, and so I wonder how that stacks. Is that 6 or is that 8? Because that means I play 2 echo forms. No, the first card plays 3 times, right? Because then echo form goes once, and then it's 2. Yeah, so I get 3 out of it actually, right? The first card plays 3 times. I want to live the dream, man. I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna try to figure out. I don't know what I take though now, which is what's hard, right? Like, I'm basically crossing my fingers that I can get to double energy, or I can get to turbo. Even though turbo's weird, man. Like, the 2 mana feels great, but the Void card feels really bad, honestly. The Void card does kind of fuck you sometimes. I've been fucked by that Void card every now and then. But yeah, I don't know. Dude, I had a funny run. Let me see if I can pull it up. I didn't know how... I had no idea how the Snecko eye worked, or however you pronounce it. So, like... Where is it? It was like my last stream. It was like this. So like, I had no idea how it worked. So I had a pretty good run of like, is it this one? No, it's not, because I don't have it. So this run, I think, is the one I'm thinking of. Crack core. It might be this one. Yes, it's this one. Right? No, but I didn't have Echo Form in the deck. No, I did have Echo Form in the deck. Okay, so I got Adaptive Force like pretty early on in this run. Let me see what the deck looks like halfway through. Right, so so I had Adaptive Force was one of my transforms like really early. And then I got Echo Form. And so I had like a handful of holograms. You can see how obvious the gimmick was. Like, it was one of those where I'm like, I don't actually think I'm going to be able to make this good. But I was like, I can just get a bunch of like Adaptive Forces and hopefully hologram them back into my hand a bunch while they're still 0 cost. And then the best part was like, I played it out. I think I beat the Sand guy. And they give me, of all the cards, right? They give me all for one, dude. They give me all for one off the second act boss. And I was like, this is it. This is it, bro. Like, I'm gonna have like 18 adaptive 0 cost adaptive forces, right? Because adaptive force clones or whatever for 0 cost. So I was like, dude, you have to take it, right? Like you have to, like the gimmick is like there. It's free adaptive forces. You're gonna hologram back a bunch of them. There's an echo. Like remember, I have echo form too. So like echo form is gonna be part of the deck. So I'm like right here. I misread. I take Snecko Eye. I misread how Snecko Eye worked. I thought it was draw an extra card, and you are confused for the first turn. So my gimmick, my gimmick of spamming 0-cost cards that are decently strong after like maybe like 4 turns or so. I should have taken like base cognition or some shit. But you're here. I'm not gonna lie, you got fucked, Onyx. But it's okay. I'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll hit you with one of these. I think it's enabled. It's too late, man. We don't have time for VOD review. RIP. It happens, man. But in my defense, it says if you are more than 5 minutes late to your time slot during the stream, you'll be skipped and we'll just take on questions. Although I'm not gonna lie, I didn't take questions. But it's cool, man. We'll just see you in 2 weeks. Put a reminder on your calendar. Put a reminder on your phone. But the rules are the rules, man. You like Snecko Eye on Ironclad? I think if you have, like... If you have some expensive shit, then it's fine, right? Like, because the idea is, like, random... I realized as I was playing, like, oh, randomize is not bad if you have, like, 2 and, like, 3 costs in your deck already. Right? Like, you probably have stuff to generate mana, which is gonna make shit weird. But, like, I realized Snecko Eye is actually pretty cool. The problem was I didn't want it, right? All of my 0-cost adaptive forces started costing a random amount. But there was one card, I think I get it on, like, the first fight. I get really lucky, I'm not gonna lie. I get saved by, like, one card. Like, dude, they ran to get all my shit being randomized was so funny. Did I get it on the first fight? No. I might have get it, like, after the first lead. What did I even get? Oh, I made Adaptive Force do more damage, yeah. That helped a lot. Oh, I did, dude. No, I did get it. I must have got it, like... I bought it in the store. Yeah. This card kind of saved the run, honestly. Because I got Ice Lance. Because I was like, dude, fuck it. Shit is randomized. Like, Ice Lance is at worst gonna now cost... Like, I was basically in, like, give me as many 3 costs as possible mode. Like, the rest of the deck didn't matter anymore. Because it's like, you know what? Just give me 3 costs. Like, they're gonna cost a random amount. You know what's funny is I didn't run into, like, any other 3 costs. But I kept getting, like... I had a really fat draw on the first hand a lot. And so I would pull a lot of, like... Plus, Echo Form was really good, because Echo Form would sometimes cost, like, 1 or 0 mana or 2 mana. So I would Echo Force a lot, and I kept getting... Dude, I got lucky. I kept getting 0-cost Ice Lance a lot. And 0-cost Ice Lance is kind of crazy, bro. That shit goes kind of nuts. But I end up winning this run, which is really funny. Like, some of my... Like, I basically got to a point where it was like, a lot of my shit started being free. Dude, I had such a good gimmick, too, because I had Luminous upgrade from Act 2. So I would just use it... I would keep it in my hand until Echo Form showed up. And then that way, Echo Form was essentially like a 1-cost card. So I would never have to worry about playing the Echo Form, like, because I think I left it as ethereal, like, for most of the playthrough. I don't even think I took it, I don't think I upgraded Echo Form until maybe pretty late. Or maybe, like, not at all, honestly. Let me see. All you gotta know is, this actually worked out, and it was really funny. Yeah, I never upgraded Echo Form, which is really funny, because I was just like, Luminous is gonna give me the 2 mana that I need to play Echo Form, like, every turn it comes up. So I was just like, whatever. But this run was pretty fun. I can't lie, like, it ended up being really funny, because, like, I get turns where, like, look how many adaptive forces are in my hand, and they're all randomized. They're not 0 cost anymore, bro. I could have had a free fucking 28 damage card spammed in my discard pile, but instead they just fucked me over. But honestly, the randomized costs ended up working out. It was pretty funny. I actually think I don't, like, take any damage. I kind of pwn everybody. I think this was the one card I didn't want to take, because I didn't care about... Even though I could have gotten, like, a random attack, and then Echo Formed it, and then, like, gotten another random attack, I was like, I don't want cards in my hand, because they're randomized costs, so it doesn't matter. I was like, let me just pull more of the same shit. I think I upgraded Ice Lance, right? For yeah, I was just like, whatever, man. Like, at this point, I'm full send. Like, I just have to do damage. But look, I got really lucky. I kept getting free Ice Lance, like, every time. So I would just get, like, crazy value out of a lot of shit. Plus, I mean, I just had a lot of cards where I was like, if you're 0 cost, like, there's a lot of value playing you. Now, obviously, right? I was only mad because, like, I wanted to do it a specific way, but instead they basically, like, they gave me, like, the weirdest run of all time. I had some pretty funny hands at one point in this, I think. We have 10 minutes? God damn. VOD review slots are long, aren't they? What else did I get? Like, by the end, I had some really funny hands. I think I had one that was like... Because I had so many adaptive forces by, like, the end of this fight. This fight felt really bad to get, by the way. Because I was like, of course Well, I would have seen the guy anyway. So there's nothing I can do about it. But, of course, right, like, the time I run a deck with, like, just spamming pretty strong attacks, I get one of the fucking intangible guys. Like... Dude, like, look how sad this shit looks sometimes, man. Like... Oh, like, 2 regular cost adaptive forces? Those are probably both supposed to be free, man. Look how shitty this hand looks, man. Look, there's, like, no free cards in my hand, man. 30 damage, too? Like, come on, man. I had some real fucked up, like... Hologram actually saved me a lot. How did you survive? I just hologrammed some cards. No, it was fine. Because, like, you have to remember, Echo Form is busted. So as long as I had a decent, like, 0 cost block, I always got a good block off. Or I would just flood damage, right? Like, right here, I probably... 40 damage is a lot. I probably just dual cast, like, my 20 block or my one cost, like, mana card. Like, I'd probably charge battery here. Or... Wait, I did regular? Oh, I forgot about Echo Form. I think I forgot about Echo Form, like, multiple times. And then proceeded to remember and go, fuck. Yeah, that's definitely me going like, fuck, I could have double casted Echo Form. No, I was fine. Because I told you, free Ice Lance was ridiculous. You just get so much block out of it. Then you all for one. Like, all for one carried a lot too. Because I would just spend my 0 costs and then pull them back into my hand and spend them again. And if I got lucky, they were, like, good value. Right? Like, I'll just bring Ice Lance back. I'll bring back Thinking Ahead. Like, it was cool because I had the ability to draw enough things or pull enough 0 costs back that as long as I was pulling some 0 costs, it actually worked out really well, which is really funny, right? Like, look how much block I end up with this turn. 54 block. Like, it worked out that I had, like, just enough things to draw cards or bring them back. With hologram, because I think I had like 3 holograms dead ass. So it actually ended up working out. But like if I skip ahead, I think there's a really funny turn where I have like a lot of adaptive forces. And remember, like adaptive force will always proc all for one. So like if I'm willing to spend an adaptive force, right? Because it's 0 cost all for one. So you can spend 2 on Echo Form here. You get 2 0 cost copies in the discard pile that are now going to get called by all for one. Right? Here, I think it's like you don't really worry about anything, right? But I think I remember being mad that I got it on this turn. I think I just generated a bunch of adaptive forces and was like, we'll get them back. Like, it's fine. I think one of my best attacking turns was like the turn I couldn't play all for one. And I think I just spam putting them in the discard pile. Yeah, like, oh, this turn pissed me off, dude. It works out, because Echo Form's the GOAT, but, like, one of my 4 adaptive forces costs 0. Every other adaptive force here costs mana. And I had nothing that boosted mana in the deck, because I didn't plan to need mana, bro. Like, the whole deck didn't need mana. I was gonna spam a 0 cost card. I feel like it's okay that I didn't have mana. It's okay. I should have looked at the screen and actually read the text the way that you're supposed to when you play video games like this. I thought Snecko Eye was turn 1, man. Like, I didn't know that shit persisted for the whole fucking turn. This game is sick though, because what it did is it really did teach me that like you can take stuff that sounds bad and it's actually not like, you realize it does play into certain decks like really well, honestly. Like when I took this, I was like, damn, this is cool. Like Snecko Eye is actually pretty sick if you have a deck that's really expensive. Right? Like even if your deck already plans for being expensive, it's kind of fine because it's unlikely that your mana generating cards and also your like good expensive cards are all gonna be expensive, right? Like one of them will be cheap and I think it will balance it out basically. This was probably like the longest fight I've ever had versus this guy though, I'll be honest. What time is it? This is good timing because I have like 5 minutes before Pat's review. I'll leave my cat cam so you guys can watch Nora do basically nothing, but I have to use the restroom real quick actually. Alright. It's a little early, but Pat, are you here? Did I show you? I think I showed you that the little new dog is like chill now. Goofy is living his best life. Bro, it's good I showed up when that alarm went off. Oh, actually, maybe I didn't. That was probably really annoying, huh? Actually, no, because it just went off. But she doesn't like that I brought him in the room. Look at this little goober. Look at this little goober. He's so cute. Let's see if I can. She's gonna freak out if I put him on the bed, though. Look at it. He's so cute. Alright. Message Pat. Put that. Get rid of all my Slay the Spire shit. Get Pat's stuff open. You know what's funny is Pat is the first submission I've ever like seen that I'm like nervous to do VOD review for. Because I'm like, damn, if anyone's really good at teaching fighting games and giving critique, it's Pat. It's like if your teacher submits for you to review them, and you're like, yeah, I don't know if I'm qualified to review your shit. But I find that maybe this is like the one thing I am qualified to review. Is Xerker footage? We'll give the usual 5 minutes. Pat's one of those where I'm like, I don't want to tell him if he's late that he can't do VOD review, man. He's like the president of Xerker, man. But them's is the bricks, man. Those are the rules. I feel like this is what being a TO is like? Where you're just like, damn, man, like I guess Ray the Warrior is just late to his pool, you know? Like, it must feel really that's gotta be a bad feeling, right? If you're like the pool's captain and like Ray the Warrior is late and you're just like, fuck, man, it's been like 20 minutes. Like, I can't wait longer for this guy. But you feel bad because like, you know, okay. Yeah, I love this channel too.
Feel that fuck Baiken from deep within your soul.
Sweet. I'm glad you're here. I was just saying, we had somebody like accidentally forget, and they missed the 5 minute window. We had to skip. Well, technically they were like 20 minutes late, so we had to skip them. And I was like, oh god, dude, don't make me skip you. This is like when you have to DQ a top player or whatever. You're just like, man, I feel kind of bad. Like they have a good shot. I think you were like, any advice, right? We probably have time for both. I remember watching these. Meticulously timed. You went to fill up Irene's car with just enough time to get there. You seem like the type that's good at that kind of thing. Here, we'll go back to... We'll do this playlist for yours. Honestly, this playlist was pretty cool. This shit kind of slaps. In case you randomly want this. Here, I'll link it. Okay, let me put the timer. I said that earlier jokingly, but yours is the only submission I get nervous if I see it, because I'm just like, if anybody knows how to teach fighting games, it's you. New round start. I'm not like high level analysis is tricky because you know, different perspective for sure. That's what I figured. One of the things I've noticed is like this. I remember seeing this like in match, and I think it's okay for you if Solstice isn't mashing, and we'll see how much it comes up. I think it's okay for you to not like overextend and try to go for things like this. Once she jumps, her options are like not that great in my opinion. Because I remember like my adjustment at one point. You might remember like Solstice kind of beat the brakes off me for like a handful of weeks in a row, I think. In Rev Tuesday, and I was like, dude, what am I doing wrong? Like, I feel like he advanced in the matchup, and I felt like I wasn't, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? And I slowed down a lot, and I realized that, like, missing that situation, like, not getting this air throw was so punishing. I started
I started to treat Ram a little bit more like Dizzy, where I want to hang out close enough that you don't feel comfortable doing what you actually want to do. But if I go like full screen when I reset, then it's bad. But I also don't want to overextend into you like jumping or doing stuff. Mess up. This is dicey. I'm no expert on gambling versus Ram, but when she throws you like this, and she does summon like this, it has to be the quick summon. Like, it has to be the quick summon for her to combo off of this hit here, right? Because you see, oh, I guess he did slow summon for like a different confirm. Actually, I guess, yeah, it has to be slow. It has to be slow. I'm dumb. Because you would air dash here and you would hit, and then the sword would hit. But these are actually pretty interactive. Like, if I was gonna DP, yeah, I know what the blitz is for sure. Like, if I had to gamble versus Ram, it would probably be, like, here. Because I do the same with Baiken. I'll usually pick stand Azami on reaction or low Azami into, like, the uppercut or whatever on 2D. I do the exact same gamble here. With Chipp, I would DP every now and then. Because he has to actually wait once he goes up there. He doesn't have another sword that's going to jail you on wake up. He is jailing you on wake up. Like, he's performing the mix-up. So I like DPing there as, like, a gamble, obviously. Here, I mostly focus on backing away once Ram is doing her stuff. Like, I'm in a weird spot. It's whatever. He's probably going to try to hit Far Slash into Daro Roman cancel. He does that a lot. Once he has the bar for it. That's the hit. Oh, he messed up. I think he wanted to do air dash. Did he want to do air dash jump pass? I don't know what he wanted. That was weird. Yeah, that was smart. That was smart of him to just gamble on his biggest move. This is kind of what I mean. I mean, this spot's difficult because even if he dead angles you, he has another 50 bar. But I'm not like too respectful of Ram like when I'm doing offense. I just have to be careful not to get Far Slash counter hit is like the biggest thing. And usually what I do is I try to make myself farther out. The farther I am from her, the less value there is in her like pressing Far Slash, I think. Yeah, like it's scary for sure, but I would probably just I would treat it probably how I do with Answer when I'm applying pressure versus a character like Ram or Dizzy, where I'm gonna focus a lot on redashing versus them, and if they jump, I'm gonna backdash away and put them in like kind of the same spot all over again. Well, that's like a big thing I've noticed. Let me write that down. Because I think like just holding space versus these characters is good. Okay. Yeah, this is probably a thing that Chipp players don't like to do, and I totally get why. But she's a character I like to take space in like increments versus, even for as fast as Chipp is. Where it's like, I like to kind of like dash up and see when they jump what they're doing. Because their options when they're like coming down are not that like... She kind of hits in like a specific range, and I think you mostly play around it. And paying attention to what sword she has is also nice. This was also one of those things. I think you do it less. I get really like... To me, this is a matchup where, as crazy as it sounds, like, I wouldn't want to do this versus Ram a lot. Because, one, I don't have my burst, and the situation, if she is right, is so good. What should I pay attention to with swords? When he summons H-Sword, it's a lot easier to shark him. And you know H-Sword is the one he's usually summoning because he'd rather keep the good button on the ground than the button that's good in the air. Is usually what I pay attention to. Right? Like, when he jumps, if he summons H-Sword, I'm like, cool, I'm going to smack H-Sword, and I'm going to play a little bit more, like, to run in. Right? Because your only way of, like, stopping me now is, like, Far Slash. And if I can play around that, when you jump, you don't have the big-ass sword anymore. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I just worry about Far Slash. Or Jump S, I mean. I've also, like, this is, like, a risk-reward thing, but I think just applying pressure versus her is, like, fine. Here. Because I think the Blitz War just sounds so bad to me. Like, even as crazy as it sounds, I would sooner, like, take I would sooner take the like relatively safe no mix-up media of like just like a 5k or like a 2k or something. Specifically because like if I bait 50 bar out of Ram, that's kind of good. Like if she dead angles me but she doesn't have swords up, then it's like kind of whatever. She's gonna force one mix-up and it's like not that big a deal. But like off of any of these, he probably missed his blitz. But like I would take this gamble every day of the week as Solstice on the blitz, like right there. Because you have such good value there. Like all I have to do is basically like wait a little bit. You're gonna touch the floor, and I'm gonna start a block string as Ram, and he's probably gonna do button / Daro Roman cancel, and he's gonna set the sword, and it forces a mix-up. Check the inputs real quick. All right, my bad. You might have meant to air dash, is my guess. Oh, sorry. You meant his inputs. I'm stupid. Yeah, you're right. No, he got crossed up. You're right. He got crossed up. He didn't try to. He doesn't really take the blitz much, but I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah, like, honestly, I think bulldogging in this range isn't too bad versus Ram as Chipp. I would think, because I think of it the same as like when I play Soul, if I've ever played Soul into Ram, because he's pretty fast too. This range is not as bad as you might think, because like if you crouch in this range, he can't really like do anything. And once he jumps, he's probably gonna summon a sword. So like the way I would put it is like this is like the first instance of us actually using the whiteboard. If he jumps, Ram is only good at covering like this, like these angles. She's not good at like other shit, right? In my opinion, like she's mostly just focused on like those two angles. So like when you hold space here, if he jumps, he can only hit like this, and he can only hit like this basically. And so I'm thinking like if he jumps and I'm crouching here, like I'll probably move a little far forward, and like jump S isn't gonna combo into anything here. Like really, like it's just gonna hit you, and he'd have to spend bar. But more importantly, if he spends the H sword, which he probably will, if I had to guess, then you're good. Like now he can't even cover like this space anymore, and you only worry about this space, and you can like dash around that. Or if you block it, I don't think it's that big a deal if he doesn't have like a good jump cancel option anymore. Because sometimes when people block /, he does jump forward H sword, right? And he'll like get a lot of value off of that, because even if you block it, he just likes the fact that it builds a lot of bar, right? I'm usually like hanging out waiting for Ram to use H sword, and Ram isn't really a character. He does it, but not a lot, because it's not that great. I think he doesn't really like dash forward and like press a button with /. He'll dash forward and like take space like that, and I think at that point you just play it out like however you think is right. Oh, it's tough. Just missed the timing. Oh, he missed this set on the cross through. Alpha through. Boom, boom, boom. So this is kind of like an example of what I mean, where like I like to just let her like fall and not have to worry about like playing around this, because she kind of wants you underneath her, like always. It's like good for her to have you underneath her. And now he has like neither sword, right? Which he was cool with. I think he was just trying to force the opening. I mostly pay attention to like H sword when I fight Ram, right? So like if you notice, he doesn't have H sword. It's in the air now. So a lot of your pressure on redashes is only worried about like /. And I think you can gamma that like pretty safely if you push yourself out. Right? So like here, I would just focus on that, because that's kind of like his only thing he does. If he jumps, he can't, at best, he just gets the sword back, and then he lands and you like pressure him again. Right? But what I get worried about is like in this situation, I want to be farther. Like I actually probably want to push myself out and then gamma before I do anything as Chipp, because this, if he commits to the Daro and waits, is like a full combo. But notice like he kind of has to like summon and try to like fight it out with you. But now it's actually pretty good to like shark Ram. Now it's not good to shark Ram, but now it's good to like run at her, because she doesn't have the ability to stuff you, right? That's like what I pay attention to with the swords, is like what angle can you not like cut off for me anymore? And I'm gonna like play to be in that space more. Like, now he's going to be really weak to redashing. And in fact, like, the mix-ups are working. This is definitely, like, just my perspective. Is like, I get scared as Chipp versus characters that get really high reward being right on the blitz and don't have, like, particularly great defensive options. That I'm like, maybe I can just win off, like, a bunch of stagger pressure on a character that doesn't want to press a button. Right? Like, he kind of, like, has to, like, play for that only, right? And you can always tell which sword is which. I used to think I had to look at Ram, and then I used my brain, and I realized the one that's in the sky is always H, the one that's on the ground is always S. So he's either missing one or the other. So now he has both his swords. So now I have to play, like... Now I would play neutral kind of slow until he's, like, forced to spend one or the other in some way. That was a good escape. He has neither sword now, so it's like... You kind of want to reset and then run at him. He has H sword. Right? So, like, you're still good to, like, run at him. Because he wants you to, like, get underneath him. Now he has both swords, right? As H sword, whenever you get the hit, like, I think now there's a lot of value in the stuff. This motherfucker jumps out of everything. I agree, but I think it's like, she kind of has to, like, land into you. Or you can do, like, run up 6p, like, a little spaced out where you don't get hit as much. You don't feel super confident with stagger pressure versus Solstice right now, but you think waiting to see him jump will help? The way I would put it, Pat, and we'll talk about it, is I don't think Ram's far slash is, like, it's not consistent for her to play around. I don't mind, like, blocking it a lot. I don't, like, I usually try to, like, be outside the range of it, like, further out. I usually focus a lot of my thought process on, like, it sounds crazy, because obviously you tell yourself, like, how am I ever gonna actually make anything happen? But I find that with characters like Ram and Dizzy, where they're not, like, great at making things happen themselves, if you're, like, also just playing kind of, like, safe, that I'm just, like, waiting to take advantage of me being better in neutral. Like, every time we reset to neutral and kind of have to play it again, on paper, like, my odds are better than yours. And every time I make contact with, like, close slash or something like that, I can do, like, a tick throw or something like that. Yeah, I treat Ram the same, honestly, Pat. Specifically Solstice. He's just so good at, like, giving him the free opening. I want him to have to, like, spend bar or do something. I don't want to run into, like, jump H and let him get it a lot. Or, like, I don't want to accidentally overextend and, like, move back into him like this, you know, and, like, get hit. There's a specific, like, type of, like, just dash up, see what happens, dash up, see what happens type of thing I do a lot. Let me see. Because there's a lot of moments where, like, I think once you're here, I would backdash once. Like, I would just backdash here and then reset on the ground. Ram isn't, like, a character that's gonna, like... These situations, like, her chasing backdash is kind of difficult, like, to commit to. Dash up and see what happens is weird for Chipp because he's fast. Yeah, I could see it. I'll talk about, like... There's a way I do it, and, like, I'll see how it looks in training mode with Chipp. And I get that prolonging neutral isn't usually great for Chipp because people tend to outgain your meter. But I mostly think, like, he won't build as much of it if you're just, like, pretty evasive, because Ram doesn't build it unless she's hitting swords or, like, moving. Yeah, the jump is, like, what's tricky, man. Like, sometimes I feel like just, like, waiting and stuff. I'm actually surprised that this hit so fast. And then here, as crazy as it sounds, I don't think I want to be farther from Solstice, really. Because he doesn't have either of his swords. He kind of has to, like, get them back. Right? So when you back up, he's probably going to back up and get his swords back. Or he's just going to get one back for free, right? I wait for moments like this a lot versus Ram. Because I'm like, yes, it's scary. I don't want to be close to you, obviously because of my health. But I kind of have to. Because if you get the sword back, it's way harder to do anything. Like, it really is. I treat her swords like Dizzy summons in a way. Or I think of it like that. And he's less likely to want to do it, especially on the ground like that. If you're close by, he's probably going to jump in the air a lot to try to get it. Like I said earlier, I think overextending and chasing the jump is kind of like, eh. But it'll be a lot better if he wastes his swords. Good run up. Yeah, I'll usually let her kind of like feel out defense versus my offense if he has both swords. Because even if you block far slash here, he doesn't really have anything good off of it. You just have to make sure you don't do it too much so he doesn't gain a ton of bar. But far slash into like see what he tends to pick is a thing I focus on like a lot versus Ram. It's a good redash on his part. Yeah, this is tough. I would have probably bursted, so like I think he does the hit for it. No, he doesn't. He does the burst safe route. Yeah, this is tough. This is really hard to burst. You would have to burst like after he lands right here, and it's like if he jump cancels, he won't give it to you. But he wants better Oki, so he takes the summon. This is rough. So like here, yeah, I would lean towards like now it's okay to be kind of aggressive. He's gonna probably look for a jump or summon. Oh, summon YRC is really smart. I've never really like paid attention to the fact that he does that. That's such good awareness on what makes Ram good. Now he's got both. I was surprised he didn't roam cancel that. Yeah. 17 minutes. Well, we'll just talk about it instead. Let me see. Okay. Let me turn the cam on, I guess. Let's see. Grab my heat box. But I do find that I would rather kind of spam not really committing in neutral and seeing what tends to happen, kind of no matter how fast my character is. Obviously, Chipp is really fucking fast, like leagues faster than anybody else, and I do get that. Like I played him the other day to like practice hitbox inputs, and I did notice that. I was like, holy shit, this guy's fast. But the way I look at it is there's kind of a range. It's the same idea, but I think the range is farther for Chipp because he's so fast. He'll just compensate for the extra distance with his speed. But the idea to me is like I kind of want to be like normally as a lot of other characters, I want to be like here versus like Ram or Dizzy or something. Like far slash does not hit me here. And if he gives up space, I want to take that space a lot of the times. Not fully, but I basically want to like walk you to the corner or make you feel like you have to like air dash into me as I'm taking the space versus you, because like as long as I'm like out of the range of this, you have to like back off and summon or start to get rid of the things that are keeping me from just running at you. Once she doesn't have swords, I'm gonna like try to get to like this range versus Ram a lot, and if I'm ever stopping, it's probably like here, because now none of her like default normals hit me, right? I just have to adjust the space based on like if she has the sword or not, and I usually don't find that paying attention to the sword is like too difficult. Once I realized like you can just pay attention to like usually it's H sword a lot because she would rather keep this button on average, but sometimes it's either one. If she has the swords, I think getting to like here as Chipp is like okay, because he's so fast. Like you're either gonna stop and kind of see what he might do, or now you just try and time around far slash, because that's probably like the thing that he's gonna try to stick out, is like waiting and seeing if he far slashes. So you break here, and then Chipp is so fast that he really will get there. Like I would never do this as another character, but Chipp is so fast with 5k that it kind of works, honestly. And this distance is like enough where like if you wait and if he jumps away, I would be like, okay, I can get to this distance now, and Ram should still not be able to hit me with far slash. And like I'm cool with this because I'm trying to walk you into the corner essentially, or get you to think you have to. Like I want these characters, I want Ram and I want Dizzy to think they have to move at me, so that I can actually like stuff them, because they're pretty good at stuffing you if all you do is run at those characters. They also get a lot of value off of you running into them, right? Because they're to me they're like kind of like zoners, but not really. I mean, Dizzy is literally a zoner, right? And you don't always have to do it this way. I think like jumping like this is like kind of a similar idea, but I don't like it as much as Chipp because his jump arc is like so high. I think if anything, you would do like something like this and you would air dash back sometimes. One thing I noticed is if you do this a lot, it actually takes a while for the game to like give you like one penalty, but two, like you don't tank your tension pulse as much as you might think if you're just spamming an approach and then backing off like this. And this is also outside of like a distance where you're gonna get punished with an air throw. And at any point, I could try to commit like this. So I usually try to set that up with other characters. With Chipp, seems like you can't do it with his neutral jump. You kind of want to, like, slingshot into them. But if you notice, like, even after a lot of these, I don't really rack up negative penalty or even the warning, like, almost at all. I honestly don't know how many of these it takes for the game to be like, hey, you're not trying to fight them. Dude, I wish I had it. This game tab info doesn't have it, I think. I gotta get the other one back. It doesn't have tension pulse. It's like the... I think it's like the other one that doesn't have that stuff on it. I know what you mean. I used to have the tension pulse mod, and then I never reinstalled it. We can look at it without tension pulse, but I know Chipp just doesn't gain meter. So we can see, let me see. From the mod menu, I don't think it's in the Rev 2 mod menu, I think. Because this one is just for Rev 2. Or Rev 0, sorry. I would have had it. I went to reinstall it, but I still have it on my computer, I think. I just haven't reinstalled it. Sorry, I know the cat cam's in the way, but like these are the only options. So I don't think it's in there. But I will say, I mean, we can kind of see like how much. Check mine real quick. Like that, but keep going. Yeah. We can. I will say we can get rid of the full bar so that we can see what it looks like a little bit more, right? Yeah, I don't know. I like. You see what I mean? I don't think it hurts his tension pulse that much. I noticed this with like all the characters, where it seems like they're pretty good about like a retreat into like this. Doesn't seem like, and you're kind of not doing these like every time. There it is. That one actually gave me tension, like the warning pretty early. Right? Looks like net positive. I noticed with Baiken, because obviously Baiken is abusing that with Tatami all the time. But I like this. If you want like an air approach, this approach is solid outside of the fact that he can like 6p it, right? But I think of it as like, well, he kind of has to like commit to that on the initial like jump arc, and you can do something like this, and it's maybe not actually as bad as you might think, especially because Ram doesn't cover that range like super well. It's like kind of like a gap. But to me, it's more like a lot of the times I would rather be on the ground when I'm doing stuff as Chipp. You did 20 and then you got danger. Yeah, I mean 20 is a lot, no? Because I think an air dash back spam is like probably like 8 or so if I had to guess. Yeah, I think that was maybe like 8. I wasn't really counting, I'm not gonna lie. This, I think, is more solid than you might think. And also another thing to consider is if you don't like the angle on this, you can keep the momentum and reset this way, and the game does not consider this running away from somebody. I've noticed that. Like, if you jump through somebody like that, it actually does not really consider it, like, running away. Because you, like, jump, and then you jump towards them, technically, and then you drift away. And the game kind of doesn't really consider that, like, bad for your tension pulse. I'll do it as Baiken a lot, too. And you still end up in a pretty, like, decent range to just, like, wait and see what they do. Or do, like, another jump towards them. Or be in this range and, like, go forward. Hey, what's up, Ray? Right? But I think, to me, a big thing is, like, it's more about, whenever I'm doing stuff like this as Chipp, I guess, to me, the tricky part is it seems kind of hard for you to get this far. Unless you have to use, like... You kind of seem like you have to use 2S more is maybe what it looks like. Because my thing is I always want to try to get far enough that her pressing far slash is difficult for her to want to do. And I will say, I don't know how you do that as Chipp that well. Because he gets kind of like to this range where he's like stubby. But I know like in this range, she's not as threatening as you might think. Because she has to like commit to like this. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is... Keeps you in far slash range. Thanks for the follow, guys. But yeah, that's kind of the thing is I don't want to be close to her. Not because of, well, one, like this is really good for her. Like this button is amazing. If you're going to press a lot of like 236S and you end up close, I think it's hard for him to not want to just press this button and then press / after. Right? 6P, 6H might get you out of the range. Oh, yeah, that might be good, actually. The thing you have to remember, the way I would put it, Pat, is, like, she has to, like, commit to running into you. And if she does, like, super jump sword set, a lot of the times, the way I think of it is, like, I don't want to do, like, a lot of this to her yet, because if she jumps and she gets out, she can just do this right away versus Chipp. Right? Like, I need to kind of scare you into either being like, right, like if I do this, Ram, if I'm crouching here, doesn't actually have that great of a time as much as you might think, because like she's not really gonna commit to like dash up / this hard, but she might. But honestly, that's fine. The idea is I want her to feel like she has to like commit into me or use her swords to earn a little bit of space, and then I just steal the space back, right? So, like, he might be like, I'm gonna just, like, set H sword if you're gonna do whatever, and if I was Chipp here, like, let's say she does this, right? Let's say I do this, and I push myself out, and she does H sword, I would do, like, hit H sword like this, and then just get back in the range. You wait out this button to see if she does it, but now when she jumps, she doesn't have, like, now I'm like, yes, now I'm down. Now I'm down to actually redash and do more shit to you. Because now when you jump, all you have is like an air stall. And that's still solid, right? You still, like, you'll get baited if she does jump, summon, air stall, and she baits 6P or whatever. But the difference is he can't do rising jump 8 and just hit you now. Which is, I think, a pretty big deal, honestly, versus her. And when she jumps, if I'm like, oh, what if he does, like, like, delay or whatever, a lot of the times I'll do, like, something I would do with Answer here is I'll like, see the jump, even if she's swordless, and I'm like, what if he delays? And I'm, like, right here underneath him, I'll do backdash and just wait. Because, like, he kind of has to, like, land with this, and it's not, like, that great at this range. Right? So, like, at this point, it's like, I'm gonna wait for you to land again, and right after you land, like, you time it, like, as she falls, like, and recovers, I'm gonna run forward, and I'm gonna press a button, because there's no way you're gonna outspeed my button here. At best, you could, like, land and backdash, but the point is, like, I'm waiting her out. Obviously, I'm not doing anything, but the idea to me is, like, neither is she, and I'm at least, like, applying offense, and eventually I can just overcommit. But I'll wait a really long time before I do it. Because the characters like Ram and Dizzy, to me, get way too much value out of you overextending even, like, once. I want her to get the hit. I don't want to, like, run into a button. I'm down to, like, just wait. Or, like, for example, if she jumps and she does, like, this and she calls the backdash out, I'm like, that's fine. Because now I'm like, now I am going to try to call that out. I'm going to 6P, I'm going to do whatever. Or, like, for example, if I was to do something like this with Chipp, and she starts to, like, air dash at me here instead, like, taking a bigger commitment or doing Daro or whatever, it's like, sweet. I'm kind of down for that, because now I do get rewarded for waiting, right? The difference to me is, like, when I watch you or, like, other people apply offense to a character like Ram, like, specifically when Solstice is piloting the character, it's a lot of, like, he's never overextending. He's just not. Like, he's just kind of waiting it out and, like, seeing if you do anything, and, like, eating a throw, especially in this matchup, isn't, like, that punishing. So you just kind of wait around and you're like, oh, I guess he ran into a button, time to do, like, Daro into a combo, right? Like, I want her to earn the hit. I want her to think she has to do things like dash forward, / Roman cancel, right? Like, a big thing is, like, this situation is pretty great for him. If you play slow enough, he'll probably get the bar for it. And so he'll do something like this. He'll set sword, and he'll force a mix-up. Which, by the way, I think Chipp technically has an option for, I want to say. Let me see. Because he's, like, a pretty big fan of trying to do this. You might want to test this, because I can't, like, get green Daro on hitbox. And I don't know if that makes the situation different. Right? He'll usually try something like this, and then he does sword summon and it combos or something like that. No, well, the idea is he usually does it like this, right? And so, like, I think if you see a setup like this, if you ever IB the Daro, I don't know about regular block, but if you ever see this, I think it's worth making DP RPS out of it. Because he's spending 50 bar for, like, a mix-up that's going to do a lot for him. And I'm down to force him, like, in spots like that, I'm down to force Ram to have to guess. Because, like, I'm going to have to guess defensively anyway. So I would oftentimes rather be like, this is fine. If I can force you to later do Daro into Sword Summon into wait, then this is, like, awesome for me. Right? And I'll do that a lot. But does that make sense at least? I think the idea to me is, like, when I say, like, slow it down in neutral or, like, look for stuff, I'm kind of, like, trying to get into this range versus her a lot. And, like, probably, like, skyrocket into him with the button, like jump, dash jump like this. If it doesn't look good, then you can back off like this, honestly. And I guess technically Chipp can do this off of this option, now that I think about it. Right? You can even do this, and it's, like, kind of annoying every now and then. But I mostly think, I don't think you have to commit into Ram. You just don't commit into her. You wait her out. You wait summons out. And then when she's summoning, like, let's say you get this summon out. Now I'm more, like, inclined to actually try to get closer and block things out. Because now he can't even sword summon off of Far Slash. It's going to take even longer because, like, the sword has to, like, teleport to you and, like, etc, etc. Far Slash I don't mind blocking because, like, if he does this with bar, he can get a combo, I guess. But, like, Ram doesn't actually have good frame traps out of this that she wants to do. If he does Daro and you block it, like, if you ever IB it, you get a punish guaranteed every time. If she does this, if this is, like, her best, like, frame trap off of this, from what I've seen, is she does this, and if you're, like, mashing, he'll get a combo, like a good combo here. But he needs 25 bar to do this. And if you block it, it doesn't seem like it's that good for her. I think what he usually does is he gets a summon out off of the block stun here, and he tries to do more off of it. But Far Slash is a button where I'm mostly inclined to, like, hold up back versus it, or wait and see what he does. But it's just kind of like Far Slash into Far Slash is, like, genuinely the best thing she can do, just because it builds so much bar. So I'm trying not to block too many of them. I'm usually, like, if I block one at the tip, I'd probably just backdash as Chipp. Things that are going to be like, oh, I blocked this, and she's going to do this, I kind of want to, like, backdash. She might be able to Daro that. This is kind of a bad example, but if she's doing, like, this... Oh my god. God, this is so hard to do. It's actually insanely minus. And I do this, I would rather do this as Chipp. Like, I just get out. I want her to feel like she might have to do some wacky shit like this, right? So that, like, maybe she, like, catches my backdash with her kick or whatever. And then I'm like, cool, I'll just wait around and try to get, like, a hit off of this as Chipp. Like this, probably, right? I want her, like, because this is a character where, like, I want her to do this. Dizzy's the same, honestly. The takeaway for me would be, like, pay attention to the sword summon. You want H summon. I think as Chipp, you want this off the table. Because it's really good versus your pressure. I think her just jumping and being able to do this versus Chipp seems, like, way too good. Because all his gimmick is like, re-dashing on close slash and getting a lot of mileage out of sneaking in lows on, like, the re-dashes. And if she just can randomly do this, like, if it hits you, it's, like, so good for him. Because even if you... The thing is he doesn't care if you block it. Because if you block it, he's going to do this to you. And he gets 25 bar and he pushes you out. Right? So I'm like, no, I don't want that to happen as Chipp. And I'm like... I want you to be, like, this far. And being out of Far Slash range will make it so, like, what is he supposed to press? He has to, like, raw summon. He has to start over-committing to do something. Or you time your Far Slash around the 5H. And the only thing I'll say is if you ever dash up versus a character like Ram, I treat her kind of like Milia. Try not to do 2P. Try not to pick your dashing crouch normals. Because if he hits this and you're crouching, he gets a free combo. At least if you get hit like this, for example, like let's say you run in and you mess up and you're like, you do like this from far away, he won't get the combo off of it on regular hit, right? But I'm usually playing for like, let's see. This should work, I think. Yeah, so like, let's say you're in that range. Let's say he got rid of like H sword and you're like here. You should be able to like time around this, but actually you can run up 6p here. I forgot your Chipp, right? Surely I can like catch this. Oh my god, maybe not. Or actually, maybe Gamma's good here. Gamma actually doesn't seem that bad there. Because Gamma on the jump, once he jumps, is gonna force him to have to air dash at you a little bit. Gamma might not be bad there. This seems tricky to time. wonder if I can do this. Actually, I guess I can pick like a faster normal, like, or a farther reaching normal like this. Yeah, 2D might be good. Yeah, like that, right? Because once she doesn't have H sword or whatever, like she's gonna jump, and I'm like, okay, you're probably gonna like recall H sword or something. Also, once she doesn't have the sword, I just assume that she's gonna summon a lot. Yeah, mostly that is what I've noticed. You stay close to her a lot, and when he has that thing, it's so valuable. It's so good. And you want him to spend both, and when he spends both, you can really start to get close to him. If he puts HS sword out, I'm always like this close to Ram. If I'm ever like checking her when I run up, because now he has to like jump forward and try to get this to work, and it's gonna be hard if I'm not like, if I'm right on top of him, it's not that hard. But like if he does this, if he gets rid of like this sword, if I stop here with Chipp a lot, if I'm choosing to stop, he can't really hit me easily with jump forward, jump H anymore. Like, it's not really going to reach that easily, and none of his grounded normals hit. But yeah, I think baiting options out of him is maybe worth doing. Especially with, like, that dash jump angle. You shouldn't be air throwable if you do it right, because air dash back isn't close enough that even the extended thing matters. And you can also jump through him. If he starts to chase you, because you're always air dashing back, you can just jump into him and then jump the other way, and momentum will basically force you guys to go opposite directions, and you'll reset. But you don't do it that much either. But I was gonna say, don't go to full screen much versus Ram. Although honestly, you seem pretty good about it. Full screen is weird because like she's just gonna get a summon out, and you're like she's gonna block even if you run out, or she's gonna play off the summon. But yeah, that would be my perspective. Would be trying that some more. Make him get the hit. Make him have to spend bar to get the hit. It'll force you, like, it'll let you learn more interactions. The thing that's tricky is, like, I know that as a Chipp player, like, I too, it's easy for me to say, but it's like, Chipp only gets to interact, like, once or twice. So, like, to me, telling a Chipp player, like, yeah, like, just wait it out so that you can force something, and if you're wrong, you get hit. And it's like, that's not a good thing to tell a Chipp player. It isn't. Like, and I totally get that. That's why I'm like, you kind of want to be really safe and then check him when he extends on like pretty safe shit, like spaced out 6p or like just crouching at a distance, specifically crouching. One of the things, this is like a tangent, one of the things that bugs me a little bit, and I get why they do it, is like a lot of Chipp players don't like FD breaking. They'll do like dash up 5p whiff or maybe 2p whiff to stop instead, because they're FDing so much they want to try to improve their meter gain wherever they can, since they're gonna tank it a lot anyway. But I do think there's a lot of value in doing dash FD break and just being immediately actionable. Like immediately actionable, it's really easy to input, like it doesn't actually cost much bar, but it's different for Chipp, so it's not easy to say that. But like that state of like dashing up and crouching right outside the options of characters that like need to put stuff on screen or want to like catch you doing 5p and they air dash at you or something like that is like really strong, because you just crouch it out and you wait, and you're so fast that like you could approach at any time. And as long as you have a decent grasp of like how bad is it if I get clipped by a stray hit, then like that's all you have to think about. Like one of the things I was gonna say is like if you get clipped by Ram Far Slash and it's just regular hit, a lot of times I'll just wait if I think he's gonna like chase me, and then like a lot of the other times I'll just like jump back. I'll jump back and like air dash and then dash back into that space I like hanging out in, because like worst case you summon a sword, but I'm like too far for you to get value out of the sword, honestly. But yeah, hopefully maybe some of that works. I'd be sick if it does. I want to see more people give Solstice a challenge. It's easy for me to do it because Baiken kind of, if I know what I'm doing, Baiken into Ram is so fucking ass. But anyways, that was the last one of the day. Let me see. I'll cut it here because I need to upload the VOD to YouTube for anybody that like wants to ever go back and like revisit it and see what happens. Yeah, hi Nora. But if anybody feels like sticking around, I'll probably do like a Slay the Spire run or two and then go to the gym because the gym closed. Well, actually, I have time for one and then I'll go to the gym while I eat. But anyways, I'll be right back for anybody that wants to stick around. Anybody that came through for VOD review, appreciate it. If anybody doesn't know how it works, you can just follow me on bluesky. The tag is @BaikenPlayer. If you're in NorCal AFGC, how many hours do I have in Slay the Spire right now? Don't ask. I have a lot. 64 hours. I bought this game last Saturday night. I bought it about a week ago. I just can't stop. It's too fun. Anyways, if you follow on there, I post it like every Monday, like every other week. It's free. It's free. I'm not gonna charge people for Xerker stuff. Stop, bro. Don't say that. Anyways, I'm gonna read